Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube, and welcome back to Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno Campaign 2. I am your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Toneshift. This time, I'm actually remembering to record my fucking voice. I'd better hope so. The audio level bar is dancing in conjunction with what I'm saying, but if it doesn't show up in the recording, I'm gonna strangle a bitch. But anyway, so, we have with us today our full cast of players. We have Tom117Z playing Rosa Solwyn, I need to come up with a more succinct way of saying Elvon Mithra hybrid watcher. Because it just does not roll off the tongue like Elvon Ranger did.
Just say something like mixed race, crossbreed, etc., etc. Also, I will strangle you first before you strangle anyone.
Yeah. Like, honestly, just give Tom a fucking round of applause for all the work he did on Session 2. He went above and beyond on that.
I cut out 2 hours of footage.
I forgot, I have one question. Does it have the lifespan of an Elvon or Mithra?
No one knows.
Anyway.
Anyway, next we have Mystic playing Aeon, our male Moogle time mage.
Hello.
Aeon is tired.
I is tired. I'm sure I'll wake up as I keep going, but right now I'm kind of sluggish.
It's all good. We have Katie Shadow92 playing Cassandra, our female human dragoon.
Who shall be awakening the Aeon with tickles. Tickle, tickle, tickle.
Free. We have Darkness playing Kunara, our female Lupin warrior.
Greetings, one of all. I just wish I could share my energy.
And last but not least, we have Ari playing Kayena, our female Tarufel engineer.
Hello.
Powerful adult.
A Tarufel adult. Very important distinction. Tarufel children are about the size of a literal potato, so.
Mistaken as a child, apparently.
Anyways, so. Where last we left off, our newly assembled band of adventurers had found themselves in the city of Murasu during the annual celebration of the end of the Amber Tide. But during the musical performance, the closing ceremony for the first day of the celebration, an incident occurred in which numerous lions for the next day's festivities were broken out of their cages and agitated by a mysterious figure dressed in leather armors. After a brief confrontation with the lions in which they were pacified and returned to their cages with the aid of the local beastmaster who was in charge of them, the party was then approached by an individual named Ilfric, a foreigner to this island, much like many members of this group, who apparently was the victim of a theft perpetrated by the same individual who then set the lions free to cause a distraction so he could get away. The stolen object being Ilfric's Tome of Communication, a magic item that lets him speak with individuals far across the world by simply writing in the pages. What's written in one book will appear in its brethren with the other owner.
We need one of those again.
Yeah. Now, desiring to get ahead of the curve of what the City Watch and the Guard would do in response to this thief, Ilfric decided to hire the party to track down the thief and retrieve his stolen property, being rather impressed with their prowess in combating the lions. With that, the party enlisted the aid of Rosa Solwyn to be their guide in and out of the city, and determined that the thief had ventured north through the city gates and out into the wilds of the Murasan Isle. Setting out from there, the party were joined by another member of Cassandra and Aeon's little group, the long baby dragon known as Tyrmith, who Aeon mysteriously seems to have very big problems with, but refused to elaborate. Regardless, the party pressed on further north and set up camp as the sun finally dipped below the horizon with the onset of night. After some heartfelt conversations and open pleas and just a general actual conversation instead of fangirling, and a strange and, to the rest of you, unknown nightmare had by Kunara, you packed up your things as the dawn came and set out once more to continue your trek. And it is upon that note that we shall open. So,
We'll never know the contents of that nightmare, as the footage has literally been lost.
unfortunately, yes. So, it is a cloudy day today. There's a mild breeze going through Temperatures are moderately... I am currently on the wrong location preset.
Off to a great start.
Because you guys are not in a warm desert. You are in a... There we go. It is chilly out here. You guys are in the middle of winter, technically, so it is very cold. It is very chilly. It's like 39 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can see your breath in the air as you're making your way. Gentle breeze, but not too bad. And mostly cloudy. You can see just little bits of sunlight kind of peeking through little gaps in the canopy overhead, but otherwise it's just pretty gray and gloomy. You have thief tracks to follow, at least up to a point that Tiermith found. So, is there anything you wish to do before we press on?
I'm good.
This was northwards, yes?
Yes, still pressing north. As a reminder, Tiermith informed you when he was chasing after the thief to keep tabs on their location that the path he was following curved sharply to the west, but the thief kept going north off the beaten path and into the wilds.
Neat.
So, Tyr, how much further did you follow this guy?
Not a whole lot longer. Only maybe like 15 minutes before we get to where he broke off from the road.
Oh. Were there tracks past there that you could see?
It was too dark. I was able to keep track of where he was going until he went into a bunch of trees, and then I lost him. That's when I came back to the rest of you.
Well, fine then. We have Cassandra. Nothing could go wrong.
Well, going to this far, there's a whole lot more he can go.
Unless he has a boat waiting for him on the northern edge of the island.
Possibly. I doubt he got there last night. Sailing at night is not a good idea.
Traveling at night is not a good idea. There are things here that will eat you. I hear.
True.
Anyway.
So I'm guessing he probably found somewhere to shelter for the night.
Or just set up camp like we did.
Either that,
True.
or he already had a location in mind and knew how to safely get there.
Sneaky bastard.
Oh, that's a thief for you. So,
I
all
don't know
that's left for us-
thieves. I've never met a thieves. This is already exciting.
And yet you've met 2 yesterday?
Well, I mean, the guy I had Fluffy sit on doesn't really count. I didn't meet him more than I rendered him unconscious.
You mean
You
your bird did?
interacted with him, Koopa.
I mean, yes, but Fluffy is a good girl. And you, Squidge.
I assume you're mounted on Fluffy right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Fluffy gives a little purring chirp and just kind of cranes her neck up into your hand a bit.
Little Mugger never stood a chance, did he, girl? No, he didn't.
Mm-hmm. If you two are done making out, let's go and try to find this thief.
Look, I will have you know that Fluffy is my sister. How dare you?
Tyr gives you a look. Tyr gives you a look.
Careful, your great grandpa's showing.
Oh, shut up.
Well, you are wearing the cape and carrying the scythe. Technically, it's just still super awesome, by the way. I know I say that a lot, but it's true.
Mm-hmm. I know I'm awesome.
Rosa, Koopa.
Yes, I am Goopa.
Can I sit on your lap while you ride with Fluffy, Koopa?
You absolutely can. Yes.
Yee, Koopa.
And goes and gets settled in front of the saddle.
Yes.
All right. So it is very sweet and adorable. And just for clarity, Tiermith is currently walking along the ground with you. He's not currently coiled around Cassandra's shoulders or anything like that.
Rosa starts showing Aeon how to work the reins, because I'm sure that could not possibly go wrong.
Oh, God.
Koopa's just... Oh my good lord, wake up! It just said Kupo instead of Aeon. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, wouldn't it be awesome if you actually named him Kupo?
That would have
No,
sucked.
it would be annoying.
Oh no.
My name is Kupo. No.
Okay, what's your name? Kupo. Oh.
We like Aeon.
We like
No,
it.
Aeon's fine.
So
I like Aeon.
you're teaching Aeon how to ride the chocobo?
Yep, how to direct Fluffy with the reins.
Somewhere in the life, somewhere off in the distance, Nee is getting flashbacks of the little wing when you let him.
Legs against a tree, yes.
Okay. Aeon, make a nature check for me, please.
Oh no.
Sure.
Oh dear God.
I gotta grab everything up because I'm so unprepared. Okay. There you go.
7. Fluffy seems more confused than anything. Like Fluffy does not seem to mind the extra presence on her back, but the extra pair of tiny little paws fiddling with the reins are making her kind of like snort every now and then, shake her head a bit, just not like
Easy,
aggressive,
girl.
not like
It's
aggressive or
first time.
irritated, just kind of confused.
Well, it's probably not much weight, like your strength, to Aeon's grip to the.
Easy, easy, Aeon. Don't hurt. But you are doing it. You are riding and driving the chocobo.
Yee, Koopa.
Anyway, so
Cassandra just smiles at seeing Aeon just have so much fun with it.
anyways, so over the next 15 or so minutes, you follow the trail due north. And the dirt path does make traversing easy. You don't lose any time. And after that time, you do eventually come to a little... You eventually come to the bend in the road Tiermith mentioned, where the dirt path sort of starts to curve and bend off towards the west around sort of a miniature, like the description that comes to your mind is mountain, but it's really just a giant fucking boulder sticking out of the ground. But the tracks left by the thief's wagon barrel past the road and out into open grassland that heads northward still into terrain that slopes gently down towards the east and north, where more and more copses of trees, and from this vantage point you can see pockets of wetland are scattered about.
I imagine he's probably avoiding the wetlands. Can't really grab a cart when mud, can he?
Well, if he did pass through that area, though, all the more tracks for us to follow. Seriously,
No.
mud can leave a serious trail of destruction behind you, and I'm not speaking from experience.
Well, let's go and make sure about that boat theory we were talking about. Hey, Tier. Go to the northern shore and make sure there's not a boat sitting around. And if you find one, torch it.
Make sure it's actually the thieves, though, because if it's a fisher boat, I'd rather not
there-
have that getting back to my parents, because that would be bad.
Alright.
Okay. You just make sure and I guess check for things that other than a fishing rod. She kind of leans down to him. But seriously, if you find that thing, I want you to torch it.
He just gives you a smile and a nod.
Alright, will do. Might take me a bit. Northern Shore's a way out from what I saw.
Take your time, Kupo.
Oh, God.
And just kind of, or rather a tear just kind of shoots Aeon a, not like an agitated look, but more like just a tired one before coiling like a spring, wings, when he goes flying up and shoots off into the distance.
Meet us on the tree line.
All right.
And that should take care if he has an escape route.
Unless he has this like a super secret hideout or something.
All right, so for purposes, do me a favor and roll an awareness check, Cassandra, on behalf of Tyr, and we will address that when he returns to the group in probably a couple of hours, because that is quite a flight.
Do I still get the extra d6?
Because Tyr is the one making the roll, I'll say yes. And because he has a high vantage point. But the rest of you will not get that extra d6 until he returns.
Okay.
Got it.
Fine with that.
Damn. All right. All right, 15.
Nice.
So we will address that upon Tiermith's return, but that will take a while. What are you doing in the meantime? Are you just going to park your asses where you are and wait, or are you going to keep pressing north?
We're gonna keep pressing north.
All
Might
right.
as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Who is spearheading the charge on this? Who's in the front of the group?
Well, Rosa and A are not occupied, I think.
Okay.
Of
So I'm
course.
guessing.
I
I'm
say
guessing it's. Or Gunnar wants to lead the charge. He can.
I was imagining Kanawa like picking up on the trail and any
Okay.
sense in
All right.
mind just following.
Why do I also imagine Kanara just staying ahead of everyone else? There's a sizable gap between the two groups.
Pretty
All right.
much. His
All
wife
right.
has been
All right.
silent the whole
All
time.
right.
He's been
Okay.
in the head.
So Kunara, if you could do me a favor and make a nature check to pick up on the trail.
Okay. That's a pretty decent roll, but let's see if it's enough. Right. So, I have 3 in nature, so that's 10.
10. All right. Let me double check my my quest outline here. All right. It's looking pretty all right, all things considered. You pick up the trail easily enough. While it's a bit more obscured by the grass and occasional shrubbery as you're pushing your way north, it's still chocobo tracks, which dig up pretty impressive gouges in the dirt when moving at a full run, and the wheels behind it create noticeable grooves that are very easy for you to pick up on, that sort of disrupt the natural flow of the terrain, and your honed senses from years of living in the wild sort of pick this shit out with ease. So Kunara almost instantly is like, he went this way, and starts leading you further and further north.
Yep.
Just like caught the tracks pretty much instantly, so.
You know, she better be glad this isn't Thanatos, or he'd be making a bloodhound joke.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
And I wasn't, so.
That was the first thing that came to mind. Bloodhound. Oh.
Well.
Oh boy.
I mean, when it comes to shit like nature checks, I think Kunara is typically going to have slightly lower DCs for tracking things because she does have the heightened senses of a predator, so. No bonuses, just lower difficulty
Oh,
targets.
no.
But anyways,
How about this chat?
Hi.
what did you do?
I-
Oh, okay.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It's totally.
Great Mouse Detective.
It's freaking
Oh,
David.
God.
Oh. That's racist.
Anyway.
Jesus.
Species.
Does continue.
Potato,
I
potato.
love you.
That's ist. Anyways.
I feel like my character is saying, "Yep, I'm surrounded, idiots."
I'm just imagining
Oh.
you know, with all this talk of bloodhound stuff, now I'm just imagining Kanaz just looking at like, don't you dare say a single joke. I would consider it as very offensive.
Anyway.
Way?
Indeed.
So.
Well,
Following.
dude, anyway.
So following the path north for a while, I'd say maybe like I'd say like for about 40 minutes or so, you eventually get to a point where as you're moving along, the sound of running water reaches your ears, and as you're advancing, you find sort of nestled between two little rocky slopes, this little stream. Not like a large river or anything, just like a small runoff stream just sort of winding its way across the terrain, and the tracks seem to go right through. I'd say the stream is maybe about at most like 15 feet from one shore to the next.
Can I roll an awareness? Because I know shit lives in water around here.
Oh god.
Okay, yep. Go ahead, make that awareness check.
I was gonna.
If Kunara wants to
God.
make
I'm
one
gonna
too,
roll for
you can as
awareness
well.
too.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Well,
mainly
can I-
because she's checking.
I was just going to say Kanara is head of the pack. Well, Rosa does know these lands, so sort of. But,
Yeah. So you can both make awareness
All right.
checks.
Yes, mainly because she is aware of her
swear to God,
surroundings,
Tom.
and plus, if it's safe, she would probably get some water.
12.
All right, and let's see what darkness gets.
Not as an impressive one, unfortunately, because she's a bit exhausted from last night.
And also focused on following the tracks. So,
Yeah,
but still, what is your total?
just looking it up. So it was awareness, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I think my awareness is the same as all the others, but let's double check. Yeah. So 7 in total. Not as impressive as the last one.
All right, so Kunara, you're kind of laser focused on the tracks. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Rosa, as you're sort of coming up to the stream, you recall lessons on local flora and fauna and local wildlife and creatures, and you've read the Chronicles of Eno. You know.
I know.
So you look up and down the stream with intense scrutiny, looking for any signs of the dreaded River Hysnogwin. And as your eyes are scanning across, a ways further up the stream, you sort of see a rock that does stand out from the others as not being right, but it is a ways away, and it looks like there's some sort of a large wild buffalo type creature that's sort of already lying dead on the ground next to it. So you get the impression that Hysnogwin is well fed, and so long as you keep your distance and don't disturb it, it will have no reason to attack you. It'll just let you go.
It lives.
As we're going, Rosa just goes, that rock over there? That's not a rock. We should avoid that. That's a high snowman.
A high rock?
Snake rock thing.
A snake rock? Koopa? That's a weird combination, Koopa.
It's something that Grandpa Thampy really hated.
Oh.
Anyway, let us. So did this guy just pull it across the stream, or?
Looks like it. Also avoided the Hysnogwin, so he knew what to look out for.
Maybe he fed him the buffalo, Koopa.
Oh.
And that appears to be the case.
I wouldn't go poke it with a stick, though.
Rosa, grab him.
Just gently puts her arms in a hug around Aeon.
I wasn't gonna touch it, Koopa.
So,
No offense, but we must make sure you don't go near the dangerous creature.
How big is it, Koopa?
big enough. I mean, the guy obviously saw it as well, so that's why he went around. So I suggest we just follow the tracks. It worked for him.
So yes, no poking rocks with sticks.
But if Tyr was here, Koopa, you let him take care of it.
Technically, if Tyr poked it, I'm pretty sure Tyr would become a snack.
Cassandra, can I have the whistle, Koopa?
Oh my god!
You are not sending.
You're
The
somewhere
dragon
far
to
in
a
the
suicide
distance in the
mission.
sky. Tiermouth just gets a dark feeling. Just
Oh.
oh no!
As for Canada's hearing that, a bit surprised. You're not sending the dragon on a suicide mission. It is more useful keeping an eye on our foe.
He's already on a suicide mission, Koopa. He's traveling alone, Koopa.
I sure he can handle mere humans, but that creature, I don't know. Too
If I was
shifty for
human,
my
I
liking.
would probably be offended.
All right. Anyway, let us continue to follow this guy.
All right. So, real quickly, if I could have Kunara, Cassandra, Rosa, and Kayana make athletics checks. Don't need one from Aeon because Aeon is riding on Fluffy.
So is Rosa.
Yep, but you're rolling for Fluffy.
What am I using for the? I was using my bonus for that.
Just
or-
your bonus. Generally speaking, if we're having you roll something for Fluffy, we'll just use your skill bonuses because that just makes it easier.
So athletics. That's 7 plus. Plus 1, 8. Rosa is not very athletic. Go check it out.
Oh no.
What are we doing for the athletics and
Athletics
stuff?
It's 2d6
we
plus
gotta
your
get-
athletics skill.
We gotta get across the stream.
Yeah, I don't have any athletics,
Okay.
so you might as well.
Athletics is free.
Don't expect Rosa to be able to parkour from rooftop to rooftop.
Can she
Oh,
swim?
is 9.
Can Rosa swim, actually? What do I have for swimming? No, Rosa cannot swim.
At least not well.
Oh no.
No, she has nothing
Well,
for
you
swimming.
are part cat.
Oh.
Shot
She's not wrong.
Shots
She's not
fired!
wrong. By the law
There's a
of
way
the
of
setting,
balance.
she's not wrong.
Okay.
I love the fact
I don't even
that
think
it's
Aeon knows
Fluffy.
how to swim.
Okay.
Aeon flies.
Okay.
But
Okay, so we have an 11, an 8, an 8, and I believe another 8.
Yeah, because I
It
don't
was a
have
9
athletics.
from me.
Okay, well, everyone rolled higher than a 7, so no one failed.
Oh, good.
Ah.
So,
You know, on it, you gotta
For
just
once
say
is a lucky 9.
Nine.
9.
Can I say one thing?
yes.
If ever at a time where they're traveling where Cassandra had to swim, I can imagine she's doing the swimming and Aeon's just sitting on her head.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, so it isn't all that hard. Pretty much the only one who really seems to have any noteworthy difficulty with it is Kayana, but just because, short, so the water comes up higher on Kayana than it does on everyone else.
No.
For the only reason, Rosa has any trouble is because Fluffy is kind of averse to just tramping into water, into a flowing stream, but, gets over it fairly quickly, so with minimal issue, y'all cross the stream. Little damp, but otherwise fine.
You should never cross the streams.
I knew that was coming! I knew as
Yes.
soon as you said it, it was coming.
I appreciate the reference.
Anyway,
Who you
So-
gonna call?
Babe, no, don't put that here, please.
who are you gonna call? Cassandra!
Yes.
Anyways,
Oh.
so following that, you then proceed to press on further north, following the tracks. Now let's see here. I need to double check my shit.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so after another, I'd say 30 minutes or so of traveling, making your way once more due northish, you eventually start to notice the terrain is like the tracks are dipping a little more eastward as they're heading north, slowly but surely descending into this sort of a lower area where things are starting to get increasingly damp and wet. And you're starting to realize that you're traversing straight up into what is essentially marshland. Now, you can... Now, for anyone from this island, for you, Rosa, you would know that this region here, this little stretch, a lot of these marshlands weren't originally like this on the island. And a lot of the marshlands that have cropped up around Fenora since the Amber Tide have happened because when the tide walls fell, the water level around the world rose by like an inch or two because there was a lot of water that returned to the sea. So there's a slight increase in water levels and as such a slight increase in places like marshland. And Marasu has, this island has it particularly bad because it was underwater for so long. So there are large swaths of the modified topography that are nearly permanently waterlogged in the aftermath of that flood.
What
This-
happened to places like Costa del Sol, which is a beachside resort?
They kind of had to move their buildings back a bit, and it was a whole thing, but they're otherwise fine.
Nice. So, Marshland, are we still seeing the tracks? I mean, I imagine so. It's
The
going through
tracks,
mud.
the tracks are there as you're beginning into the marshes, but the swampy terrain is wet and damp and largely influenced by puddles and deeper sort of little ponds. And so as you're going, your feet start to like into this really deep sort of a just fugly mud as you're going. And because of the sort of running water that sort of swashes all over the place in this disgusting quagmire, it is becoming harder to discern what comprises the thief's tracks from just the natural slippery swamp terrain, as water had already kind of washed over some of it and started to sort of erode it. So
And can I have with Fluffy's help to try and keep a solid lock on what little's there?
sure, you can have Fluffy roll a nature check that will have the +2 from your bonded.
Yep.
And anyone
looking
else,
for-
who wants to assist, like Kunara, because you're in the front of the pack, you can make that nature check as well, just to keep the tracks in line.
This is all nature. This is what I'm meant to be for. This is watcher stuff.
Yeah, I can try.
All right.
So, 12.
Okay, I got an 8.
All right. So 12 from Rosa, an 8 from Kunara. Aeon is apparently wanting to provide some, another 12.
Okay.
They say 4 eyes are better than none.
And Cassandra
But
Wow.
technically, Aeon, this is 6 eyes
Critical
because it's me,
fail.
you, and Fluffy.
Hey,
Yes.
Tone. Hey, Tone. I know you usually do the critical fail things, but I had an idea. Can I do it?
Also, can I point out, for the second time in a row, you got the first critical fail of a campaign.
Yeah.
Well,
Critical
anyways,
fail. Thanatos
One.
curse.
1, shut up. 2, count down.
I mean, yeah, I have my own thing I'm going to do, but we can do your thing first.
like just considering like the mud and everything, like Cassandra just like gets her foot caught in some on the mud or something and just falls over.
Okay, so as you're going along, you're like, thanks to the efforts of like Rosa with like Fluffy sniffing at the ground and picking out the center of the trail and Aeon's vantage point, like, the tracks go this way, Koopa. You're kind of staying on course. Kunara kind of loses it for a second, not being used to actual swampland, more used to forestation than this, but sort of picks it back up swiftly enough. And then as you're sort of walking through onto a slightly dry patch, just before you would lift up onto it, Cassandra, your foot snags on a root and you just pivot forward into the water. The thing is, what you hit feels weird.
Oh no.
It doesn't feel like mud.
Oh,
It does not feel like mud.
Shit.
Wait, what?
it's bad.
It's too slippery. It's too smooth,
Uh-oh.
and it's sticky.
What?
Hades, I would like you to roll me 1d4 plus 1, please.
Why?
Oh.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Oh
Well, at least it ain't rope.
4. Alrighty. Un
What
momento,
have you
por
done?
favor.
Oh
What have you
no.
done to me?
Amazing things. Give me a moment.
Oh no.
Why?
You come across a swamp ice snug.
Imagine.
I will murder
A swamp
both of you.
snogrin.
That would be amazing, but no.
I would murder the both of you.
Give me just a
But
second.
then who would protect you?
You should have rolled there.
I do nothing.
All right, so as you sort of face plant into this slippery thing in this pond and you lift your face up a bit, it sort of slithers around and you see this large sort of spotty head sort of lift up from the water, big, thick lips, this sort of stalky snail-like eyes. And as it looks up at you, you are face to face with a creature that can only be described as a cross between a salamander and a toad that is bigger than Fluffy is.
Wait, this isn't like one of those stupid like big mud fish salamander things from 14, is it?
The creature lets out a noise, and you hear more disturbed water from not far away. And before I change the maps here, I just want you to know, if it hadn't been for that critical failure, your rolls are higher enough that you would have skipped this encounter. The critical failure triggered it. So, as such...
There are going to be 4 of them, that's what you rolled for.
So,
Sorry to say Hades, but this gives me a vibe of when you face off against a giant toad in The Witcher 3.
Honey, it's in your family's blood.
all right.
Keep happening to Cassandra.
Ah, damn it. Okay, yeah, give me a second. Visible to... All right, so give me just a second here. And one last thing, simply because of that critical failure, last little detriment from it, I'm going to let the after you crashed into get off 1 attack before the party's turn begins.
They're good combat, let's go.
All right, so it is going to attempt to bite you. So that is going to be a 10 to hit, which I'm pretty sure hits.
Yes.
Would you rather this or the high Snogwin?
That's not fair.
No, that's perfectly fair.
It is not fair.
Hey, we avoided the high Snogwin.
All right, so you take 6 points of damage as this thing's mouth peels open and it just grabs onto your head with its mouth because you're nose to nose with it, and the inside of its mouth is sticky, wet, warm. It smells a very awful variety of sweet. You kind of squirm in it for a sec before prying your face out. And
Dangerous things I want to eat you. I did warn you.
all right, and with that, it is to the party.
Rosa is tugging on the rein.
Well, Kunara's already in motion, so I guess let's do darkness first.
Right.
I just see Rosa just I'll take the reins, Aeon.
Oh, she's alert. Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a 13.
Are
I'm
you
lucky for this creature.
Okay, you're attacking. One thing, do you want to activate any of your paradigms before you launch into this?
Can I do that and still attack? Because I
Yeah, the first time you enter a paradigm in combat, it is an instant action. It's only, so you can do it and still get in your attack and movement action. It's only anytime after the start of combat that it's a standard action to shift your paradigm.
Oh, since I rolled a 13, I suppose it's nice to try something else. Let's see. Let's have a look at Ravager to remind myself what that does.
Ravager basically just deals an additional bit of unmitigated magic damage to your enemies when you hit them. Let's see here. Kunara.
So, how much extra damage would that be if I do go?
It would be finesse times half your level. So right now it would just be your finesse. So you deal an additional 2 damage to your enemy, but it would be utterly unmitigated.
So, I suppose for the sake of everyone, because we don't know the avoidance, let's go commando again.
All right.
Give us a +1 to our accuracies.
Yep.
All right. Well, either way.
Yep.
Accuracy time. So that would mean, 14. Does that hit?
Most assuredly, yes. That, hits double what you needed. So. These are level 1 enemies. Their avoidance is not terribly high.
Oh, we have that in common. Good.
Yeah. Anyway,
And
so
now for
yes, you
damage.
hit Kanara, so damage time.
Not as impressive, but still damage.
Yeah, 10 plus
15.
86. 15?
Mhm.
All right, and these creatures have... All right.
Remember when we were hitting the damage cap every other hit?
Yeah, give it 3 years. So you come barreling in the second you see these hostile creatures rising up from the water, Kunarin, with a sort of a vicious growl. You bring up your sword and sort of bring it down on the tail of this creature, and just cleave the tail off, and it's as it sort of turns to glare angrily at you.
So, does Cassandra get a turn?
Yes, you do get a turn. It just got off a single attack on you before your turn came up.
So, yeah, Cassandra just slowly gets up, and again, her front, her hair, and everything is mud. and this thing took a bite out of her. So she is very upset.
Oh,
I will
bet.
say this, Kanara would probably look at you and say, if
Let
you're
me just
done
say
being
one-
prey, fight this thing already.
You're done playing in the
Can I just say
mud.
one thing? You can just hear Kai saying to Cassandra, Karma's a bitch, huh?
I was gonna think that. I was thinking that. I was like, Kai's probably laughing. She's like, yeah.
So, so with all of that embarrassment, the pain of the bite, and just her just in a rage, she will be using a deep breath, but lightning this time.
Okay.
A good chance they're water aligned, so yeah.
All right. A 10. That'll hit.
So
A little bit too good.
now, if I recall correctly,
Now, deep breathing does
lightning-
magic armor damage, right? Okay, just
so
making
that's
sure.
for mine times half our level. So unfortunately, this probably won't do that much, but anyway,
Every little bit helps.
every little bit helps, and they may be weak to the lightning, so who knows? So that's 6 damage.
All right. No roll attached.
I mean, I did roll
Yeah.
a 10,
No, I was there.
but
Oh.
it says on my sheet like it's deals.
Mind times half level
half-
plus 2d6.
Is it 2d6? It doesn't say 2d6.
It does in the rulebook.
Okay, so 2d6.
I'm just going to use the last of my movement to go back here,
So good.
out of the water.
All right.
12.
All right. So, as you stand up, inhale deeply. Instead of flames this time, that is not what I wanted. As you inhale deeply and breathe out this, just like this cone of electricity over the swamp eft, you can like see its nervous system lighting up, and it's like as it's backing up, and you discern that yes, these things do indeed take double damage from lightning. That being said, they do seem to have a higher magic armor than armor score, so it took a total of 19 damage from that.
Neat. Also, I gotta make probably a finesse check because there's also this seal.
It comes from a job ability, so in most cases I'll roll that comes from force instead of finesse.
Fair enough. I'm perfectly fine with that. My force is better than my finesse anyway. My force is 3, so that plus 3. Probably gonna fail.
Unfortunately, yeah, that the seal does not take. Silence does not take. Still, you heard it pretty bad.
Alright. Rosa, meanwhile, is yanking hard in the rain, seeing that Cassandra has just fried that thing, is going to take us all slightly away from the fray. So we're all ranged anyway.
So you're like,
You're gonna need to
Yep.
bring Aeon.
Yep.
So over here, and then is going to shoot an arrow at this one.
Now, what one?
Top one. That one.
Northern one, okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, plus 1 from Kanara, 11.
11 hits.
Plus 9, 14 points of damage.
14. All right, so as you bring Fluffy around, you lift up your bow and arrow, and thwing, the arrow kind of wobbles a bit through the air before it hits something in the side of the head. It's unhappy. It's hurt. Still alive. All right, so that is Rosa. Aeon, you were taken along for the ride, but if you want to move a separate direction using your movement action, you totally have the option. Or you can
no,
just stay
that's where
on,
I'm at.
or you can just stay on Fluffy's back and let Rosa dictate your movements. Up to you.
I'm fine with that.
All right.
He's not giving up his chocobo ride.
Then what are you doing?
I'm going to cast Meteorite.
All right.
Oh my god.
Is that going to be your one swift cast?
Yes.
What is the MP cost on that again?
I just put it down. Ah! 8.
Had a feeling. All right. I believe that's your power times 3 plus 2d6 to everything, or is it your
Yes.
power times 2?
3.
It's power times 3.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So.
So,
One second. I'm so mad I'm not prepared. I have my calculator out.
it's all good.
Yay! Okay. Okay, so 7 back down. Okay. I was gonna say, as like Aeon's like getting ready to cast it, he's gonna look at Sandra and he's gonna say, "I can scorch stuff too, Sandra."
Oh god.
All right. So,
Ouch.
okay. So, Aeon, you lift your little Mogwand into the air. It lets out this little purple pulse, and again, another rift opens in the air, and this bunch of like little purple flaming pebbles just come raining out. Start swirling around the combat area, striking all of the enemies as like just a series of like almost like miniature shotgun shots. Just and the one
Why are
that
some of these lollipops?
why are some of them clocks? Why are some of them hourglasses? No one knows. But anyways, as the little shots are flying around, the one that's in front of Cassandra takes one right to the back of the head that punctures through and then out through its lower jaw. And it drops dead as a doornail.
Damn.
And the one that Rosa shot is looking very close to dead.
And how about the other ones?
They're hurt, for sure. They're still up, though. All right, and that just leaves Kyanna.
Gone.
Gun.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out which one's near me. I think it was the one behind me, I think.
Yeah,
I
like
think the
you're
one
more
behind
or less in the same range to all three of them, but the one that's behind you is technically the closest, but they're all well within range of your gun.
One.
Might as well shoot one of them.
All right. Pick one.
Time to do what you do best. Get your gun.
Okay, you're lucky you're cute anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, top, bottom, or right hand. Which one?
I'll go for this one, the one that's like near the tree, like on the top.
So that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that one's almost dead, I think. So that'll
Yeah.
work.
All right. Accuracy check, please.
All right.
Come on, dice.
And you get a +1 to this roll thanks to Kanara's Commando stance.
You're welcome.
Kanara go commando often.
Tom.
He's not wrong.
Fuck.
Honey, no.
Honey, yes.
No.
God. God, just shoot the
Tizona is suddenly just very interested from somewhere within.
Just shoot the stupid mister.
11.
11. Yep, that'll hit.
11. Hell yes.
All right.
Okay, then the damage, right?
Yep, 2d6 and add your dex.
Damage.
Let me look. That would be dexterity.
You mess with her, you get the gun.
2d6, right? And then plus the dex.
Yes. Also, I can hear Mista coming along to the music, and it is adorable.
You don't know how much I love Final Fantasy music.
Oh, I do. I love this franchise's music too.
Okay.
There are points when I was watching the first campaign when there were certain fight scenes you were doing. There's a point where I just was jamming out to the music. I kind of had to rewatch the entire fight again because I was so into it.
All right. So following the hail of meteorites, Kyanna, you whip out your gun, check, make sure it's loaded, the safety is off. You're like, okay, and you point and fire off a shot, and it hits one of the eye stalks of the swamp eft, punctures through, tears through the top of its head and out the back of its head, leaving just this fugly little spray. It lets out a little, and he's dead.
Hey,
Now we only have one. What's it gonna do? Retreat or?
we have two. There's one behind us.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and it is now the enemy's turn. So this first swamp eft here, it is none too happy, and it also recognizes that you people can hurt things from a range and from up close. So it's going to sort of
space.
just sort of inhale a couple times. You see like the bottom of its the lower part of its jaw to sort of swell up a bit before and this big water ball comes spraying out, and it is targeting. It's going to target. There are 3 potential targets for it, so I'm gonna roll a d6. It's going after Kanara.
Oh,
Wow.
Boy.
Okay, so that will be a 6 to hit.
A 6.
That misses.
It misses. Yeah. So as it actually, hold on. I think I miscounted that.
Yeah, it's 7.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I
six?
counted it
Holy
as,
shit,
okay, yeah,
that's
this thing, I
1/3.
counted it as if its accuracy for this attack was 0. Its accuracy is 1. My mistake. That was actually a 7 to hit, which just hits.
Ah.
Oh.
These dice like me. I love it.
We don't. We
Yeah,
don't.
So, that is going to be a total of 10 damage to Kunara.
Oh.
10 water magic armor damage. Or actually arm damage, my mistake. As this big ball of water is ejected from the swamp eft's mouth, flies across and just sort of smashes into your side over Kyanna's head, Kanara. And it hits with a lot of force. It's like a cannonball that shatters on impact, and you kind of slide a couple of inches from it, and your shoulder really fucking hurts.
So which one spat at me?
It was the one
The
down
one that-
here. Southern one.
One down here.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't even know there was another one.
Yeah.
I had the icons in the way. Whoops.
And the last one is going to bum rush Cassandra.
Oh my.
And it is going to try and bite you.
You are really tasty.
So it rolled snake eyes.
Hey.
So it.
So as it comes barreling up to you, opens its mouth, its foot catches a swamp root, and it just kind of, its face kind of plows in, and because of its sort of like vaguely bullet-shaped head, it kind of like tunnels partially into the mud until its head is like halfway buried in the ground, and it's
And then
now,
it feels something slimy underneath the dirt.
and now it is thrashing and squirming, and it is stunned, so it will have its next turn skipped.
It won't live that long.
It won't. So it is back to the party.
That abomination is mine.
Oh no.
Okay. So you can just get in range for this.
Now the dice is good.
Yes, let's.
Okay, that's good. That do it.
Okay, 7. Yep.
Yep.
Plus
And
whatever your
my
accuracy is, but that.
is 5 at the moment. So
All right,
yeah.
so yeah, that's a
hit.
definite hit. Give us your damn.
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 Damn. I've said that before. I know I have.
Damnation. Okay, that's a 9 added to the 10. That's 19.
It did. So
Knew
you
it.
kind of let out that little war cry of yours, that abomination is mine. You go bounding past, kind of briefly kneeling down onto all fours for the sheer force of your pouncing leap. And as you're coming through the air, you bring up your greatsword over your shoulder, let out this. It's an impressive, barking sound before you bring your blade down on the top of its head, and it just parts like the Red Sea. Fittingly, given the spray of blood that comes out as its head is dissected down the middle, and its corpse slumps to the ground.
This
Dead.
flesh ain't worth eating.
Well,
Cassandra is going to quickly maneuver Fluffy
You mean
over
Rosa?
in. Yes, Rosa is quickly going to move Fluffy in this direction to Cassandra. That's where the slip came in.
Cassandra's
And is pretty much just going to toss her a healing potion. Yeah, she drink that. You got a bite mark. 25% back to you.
and I'm pretty sure that gets me back to full.
Gives you back 5 HP.
Okay, well, either way.
So yeah, you're at 21.
yeah,
Just
she-
shy of full.
She takes that without even looking, drinks it, and then as soon as the drink is done, you see more lightning build up.
I guess we'll know what will happen for dinner.
Let me double check something real quick, because this thing is stunned. Its avoidance is effectively 0. You didn't need to roll that, but alright.
Well, either way.
Alright.
He just wants to make it hurt.
Alright. So. Claim your victory.
So this thing is still just slumped beneath her, right?
Like it's trying to pry its head out of the mud, but it's stuck.
Just after she just chugs the healing potion, just see the lightning build up, and you just see this big, just like blast of lightning just right in front of her, and just shocks the whole thing, and does not stop until it's just jarred.
Dead.
He grayed out.
Yeah, I've done it before. To indicate that shit's charred to hell and back. Either way, so.
Ah. Rosa is just looking at Cassandra with stars in her eyes.
fangirling all the way.
Yes, you definitely made that laugh.
Alright, so.
Wow, that was unpleasant.
You can breathe lightning too.
Yes, I can. Did Tom say anything? He cut out for me.
Rosa was just laughing,
Alright.
like nervously and in awe to herself.
Alright,
Sometimes
Cassandra.
my mic struggles
okay.
to pick up the laughter.
Okay, Cassandra, if you could roll me one more d4, please. Just one. Alright, no loot.
I don't even get any freaking loot from that bullshit. Are you kidding me?
Unfortunately,
You got it?
no. It was a 50% chance of getting something from it, but no such luck.
We've never done well with those bloody percentage dices.
I mean, if you rolled a 3
yeah,
or a
I feel
4,
like-
you would have gotten
I
some.
mean,
You would have gotten some effed meat out of it, which could have been used to make a very nice meal. But,
Hey, remember that time we were fighting Caius and he had like a 1 in 4 chance of doing an effect and he constantly got it every freaking roll? Anyway.
Honey, the dice aren't being fair to me today.
Feel my pain when we had to do it.
Bring along, Aeon. Kanara passes a potion. Yeah.
I have my own. Thanks.
Kuna.
Aww.
Kuna smells like wet dog, Koopa.
Aeon! Aeon, that's rude.
Me, rude Koopo? Coming from you, Koopo.
Ooh.
Damn! There's some drama in the house tonight. Anyways, Kanara, you drinking one of your
Definitely
potions?
dysfunctional. Yep.
Alright, it's 5 HP back to you.
I'm aware, and
let's
probably
see.
need to finish off with another one.
Yeah, if you want.
So is there?
I do
So is
that.
all this water just mud, or is there any that she can wash herself off a little bit?
It's very swampy water. You can use it to, like, wash yourself off, but you definitely don't want to drink it without, like, boiling it.
Can I suggest something?
Parasites.
What's up?
Okay.
Is Aeon able to use like telekinesis to get the mud off of her? Technically.
I would necessitate a finesse roll to do that, but you can try.
Okay.
All the
Is it
more
just-
reason.
Just rolling a regular 2d6, I guess. Is that-
2d6 and add your finesse score.
Okay.
An update on Michette. I used 2 of my potions, and now I'm down to 3.
Okay. So that's
That's-
another 5 back to you, so you're back to max. Alright. So, helping Cassandra out with your telekinesis, and you kind of... It's a very inelegant solution, but it works, as you basically just use telekinetic forces to just like... It's like you just took like a spade to it and just started scraping mud off. It works, but Cassandra, you kind of feel like pressures against the front of your chest plate and your face as Aeon's doing it.
Oh, that feels weird.
Aeon is a helpful noodle.
He is. Thank you, Aeon.
Koopo.
Aeon is trying so hard to be mad.
And that was such an awesome meteorite. Cassandra just picks him up. You're so awesome, Aeon. She just hugs him and starts walking.
No!
I feel like I've just been the victim of a theft or something.
Can't steal, it was already mine.
You're so huggable.
Koopo! No! No hugs, Koopo!
Well, we love her.
Alright, so...
Good love, Aeon.
We do. We adore Aeon. Aeon is the best.
Aeon is best.
Right. I've calmed myself down. Let's get back on the trail. And you, try not to fall in any more death traps.
I'm never gonna live this down now.
Certainly
And
not.
then you can hear Kai just like going right next to Cassandra, just saying, how does it feel?
Just all the snark from this one.
Cassandra just rolls her eyes and groans and just starts walking.
My granddaughter like
Is that-
grandfather.
You know, if you ever need like aid and potions and stuff, or if yours ever run out, the aid is here. I'm off. That's kind of my thing, you know. Okay, good chat.
Yeah, she's just giving you the look.
Cassandra, hi. Flashes up with lovely to Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Wolf lady's terrifying.
all right, so following that, you spend the next, I'd say, like 10 minutes moving your way further north, still following the tracks. And I'd say at this point it's getting on towards like 11 o'clock or so. The fight did not take terribly long. But as you're advancing, you eventually hear the of Tiermith's return. And so you all sort of look up as he's coming down, just as you're sort of creeping your way out of the marshland, and he sort of touches down a little ways ahead of the group.
Hey,
I'm cantering up.
Hi, Timmy. You missed frogs.
what?
Don't ask. Did you find anything on the shore?
I didn't find any boats, no, and I looked. I spent a while looking on that. What I did find,
And he sort of turns and noses just a little ways further northeast.
just a little while that way, maybe another 20 minutes walk, there's what looks to be the remains of some old village.
A village?
The remains of
here.
one.
Well, if you want a place to hide, a ghost town would be a good one.
Probably, yeah.
Rosa, you know anything about villages way out here?
DM, do I know anything about an abandoned village to the north of Marasu?
Rosa, make a Lord General check to see what you
Thank you,
know
Ed.
about villages north of Marasu.
DM, I am rolling my dice.
Rosa,
DM,
copy
can I have a
that.
lollipop?
Critical fucking success. Screw all of you.
Box
DM can have a
cars.
slice of life.
Kunara, shut up.
Me out of character. Couldn't hard to say that.
And Aeon, you may absolutely have a lollipop.
You already have several in your chrono pocket. You're good. Anyway,
I want another.
go work through the ones you have first.
No.
Goddamn child. Anyway, so Rosa. Rosa. As it is, as was mentioned before, you do know that Marasu, and in general, this map has many smaller villages, towns, and settlements that aren't necessarily marked on maps. As for ones north of Marasu, you don't have their names off the top of your head, but you are aware, from things you've overheard from people, or when you've studied really detailed atlases of Mikotai and the Marasan Isle in general back at the library, that there was a village up along along the northern shore north of Marasu. It was more like the eastern shore before the topography of the island changed after the flood. But like pretty much every other island on Marasu, it probably would have been absolutely obliterated during the events of the flood. So whatever's there now, it's likely nothing more than skeletal remains and the long-dead remnants of barnacles and other forms of crustaceous sea life.
So, it's a pre-Amber Tide town then.
Most likely. If it's a ruin, that's most likely the case. Something built before the flood that just was never rebuilt or repopulated for one reason or another. Maybe the land is no longer viable for it. Maybe there was no one left to reclaim it. Maybe it was simply left as it is to serve as a grave and silent monument. Who knows?
If it's a village this far north, it's gonna be ruins from before the Amber Tide, 100 years old.
Well,
Which I can't imagine there's over much there. Tiamir, what exactly did you see?
Just some old, skeletal frames of some houses.
Are they stone? Because wood wouldn't be there at this point, 100 years later.
I mean, there were some, stone walls that had kind of eroded down, but I did see a couple things of wood. Not much. It was very worn down, but there was some stuff still.
Did you see our guy with the cart?
I didn't see the cart itself, but I did see at least one house that was still standing-ish.
Stone structure?
Looked largely to be, it was very caved in. I think it was older wood. But somehow still standing.
Yeah, weird. Kind of weird how wood would, after being submerged in a tsunami and then 100 years past, would somehow still be standing. Actually, very sturdy stuff.
Well, at least we got a location now. Come on, let's go kick a thief's teeth in. I need to vent this frustration.
Especially being pelted by mud.
Yeah.
If this
Yes.
If this place is pre-Amber Tide, we should also be careful, because don't really know what we'd find. No one's really come to reclaim it. That was like a rough time.
I do
Don't
know
care.
one thing. Okay.
No, go ahead.
I do know one thing. By the time we get this little quest of ours over with, it's going to be a long walk back. Which
Well.
probably means your parents aren't going to be all that impressed.
Yeah.
You just see Rosa slop forward and just bury her face in Fluffy's neck. At least she'll attend my funeral.
All right. So pressing on.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So following Tiamat's directions, you eventually follow the tracks for a little ways further north, and if sure enough, they eventually lead onto this sort of a upward slope that leads a little ways up. There's still more wetland around it, but as it heads up, you see that at the top of this sort of a rise in the terrain, and at the edge of a cliff that you imagine might have once overlooked the ocean from a higher elevation, you can see just the faintest remains of a settlement. You can see the occasional, slanted wooden support beam, the occasional, pile of bricks that form sort of a square outline that might have once been a more reinforced house. You can see the sort of folded-in remains of what once upon a time might have been a well, as you're sort of coming up into it, and it's kind of a disquieting feeling as you're sort of coming up and looking over it all. Sort of look around. You can, see that once upon a time, long ago, people would have lived here. But at this point, it's all just dead.
Can I drop a rock down the well?
You may.
Can I drop a dragon down the well?
You could probably just fly up again.
Sandra, can I have the rocks, please?
No.
Shame there's
I
no
don't know
water
why.
in this well. Probably look positively filthy at this point.
I don't know why, but I could just say, and you can say, you're not fun.
Anyways, as you're kind of having this little exchange, Kunara's still at the front of the pack following the tracks, trying to ignore the drama. Your eyes follow the tracks just a little ways further northward towards the northernmost building, which is sort of framed in by a small handful of trees that have long since grown around it. And it looks to be the most intact structure out of them all, and you can actually see, looking ahead, a relatively new-looking wagon parked out in front of the building, and a now unhitched chocobo just sort of chomping merrily at some grass and bushes not far away.
Well, certainly didn't even try to hide himself.
He's another fluffy Koopa.
Well, Fluffy can make a friend.
Yee!
Though,
Great, so
this
that
place
means this
gives...
one.
This kind of gives me the creeps. I mean, from your perspective, only a handful of the population in Marasu survived, like Lord Laren, the Solwins. Everyone in this village, no one would have made it. Everyone died. So, what's he doing here?
Maybe he's communing with the dead.
Oh, you don't think he's actually doing that, do you?
I figure it's probably just a convenient hiding place. I mean,
Or
it's an abandoned village, right? Who's gonna come by?
Read it. Just as long as it's not ghosts.
Whatever the case may be, because you all seem to have a problem with that, I know it'd be off the menu for me.
Don't do that.
Now it's time for games.
So that chocobo is just outside the door, is it?
Yeah, sort of hanging out outside, chomping at the grass. Looks up at you after a moment.
Just kind of gently approach, just kind of... Fluffy, can you, come make friends, do you think?
Make a nature check on behalf of Fluffy.
Oh god.
Ooh,
If this fails,
great.
does Kanara get to eat it?
Oh my!
You did not hear Darkness say something? He said, oh,
Even
look,
with the
this one's
bonus,
for
that's
me.
only a 9. That's not a great roll.
Yep.
Gunnar just cracks it away. Just all you just hear is a.
Oh no.
Anyway, so with that 9, Rosa gives off a few little calls, and after a second, this mysterious chocobo gives response calls. Sort of call and respond to each other a couple times before the other chocobo just sort of goes back to chomping on flowers and bushes and berries and shit.
That was louder than I wanted. Is there
anywhere for us all to hide?
How
Like
about I
another
give you
wall
all
or
a
something we
visual?
Yes,
would help.
please.
That would be nice.
Also, we should be concerned that there's a vigil. Oh god, I'm having flashbacks to that one house before the cultist dungeon.
Yes. So I'm guessing all these great green spots are trees.
Yes, those are the canopies of trees.
And now Cassandra is just going to just tell everybody to get into the trees.
You know one thing, I'm liking this soundtrack. It's nice and creepy.
All right, so everyone, pick a spot where you would like to hide for the tokens you control.
I'm gonna go to these trees over here, actually.
All right, Kayana, where are you
Yeah,
parking
definitely
yourself?
I'm sorry, nothing happened.
Oh,
Apparently
Good job.
I tried to call her into work tonight, and she said no because we're doing this.
okay.
I hope you don't. I hope that's okay. I hope they don't fire you for that.
No, I already done my shifts. I'm working literally Monday, Tuesday, then after Thursday, freaking Friday. That's enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, sorry, no, I can't. I'm busy with a thing.
We are
You gotta
hunting a
say-
thief.
No, the thing is that it's almost about to be 7. I literally would go to sleep. Like if I, my mom is like is literally asleep. How the hell am I supposed to drive all the way over there?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyways, so still need Kayana's token to be parked where you wish to hide.
Okay. Okay, where's the?
Maybe over here. Oh. Up to you.
Yeah, thank you, honey.
All
So
right, now I would like everyone to make stealth checks.
Alright.
Rosa,
Stealth
because
in
you're on
time.
the back of a giant fucking chocobo, you will be rolling with 1d6.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Well, it was as high as I could get, so that's a 7.
Okay.
It's with stealth, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh.
All the
That's
stealth.
enough.
Mika dice rolled a 6.
Well, Aeon has
Now
less
just
stealth
pull the
than you,
Batman.
so.
I have none.
I have none either.
I have
Wait.
+1 on account of having to sneak out of the house every now and then.
How are the little ones here, the ones that have no stealth?
Well, Aeon's not exactly thinking about being stealthy. It's okay.
Aeon
He's
is
feelings.
loud and
I
proud.
mean, he doesn't try to just hide it. He just takes things that he likes. Like when he took the money off that one thief that we had the first session.
For food.
He didn't even try to hide it. He's just like, okay, I'm gonna take this.
I wish that was double 6s, but close enough.
What did you get, Darkness?
In total, let's see,
11.
14.
Oh.
I'm the lowest.
Denara
Okay.
is
she
the
just-
stealthy hunter.
She just pulled off a Batman.
Yeah, okay, so we've got...
Damn it, have to roll.
All right, so we've got a 10, we've got a 7, we've got a 6, we've got an 8, and we've got a 5 fucking teen, right?
14, but yes.
14. All
I
right.
wish it was 15,
That
because then
would
it'd be a
be.
critical success.
All right, so
That would have been a low roll for me.
all right, so after a couple seconds, the front door of the home opens, and you see this sort of I'd say like in his 40s or 50s Mithra man, sort of a hardened, sort of definitely sort of wrinkled face. He's definitely showing his age. Kind of has sort of like the beginnings of like this sort of like a Spike mutton chops thing going on, except kept kind of neat and tidy. Like he keeps it looking fashionable. Kind of what once might have been brown hair is kind of starting to silver and gray out. Sort of a neatly combed back a bit, though he has a few sort of a bang sort of framing the sides of his head. That sort of also flares out in the back to give him a kind of spiky look. He's dressed in padded, thick leathers and cloths colored in brown, with a few metal studs here and there, and just loaded with pockets, kind of like Thieves Guild armor from Skyrim, if you know what that looks like. And as was noted by Ilfric before, back in Marasu, he seems to have this sort of this serrated dagger sort of tucked into the front of his jerkin, with a very nice pommel and hilt. And kind of pokes his head out, looks over towards his chocobo. What is it, girl?
Question for the DM.
Yes?
On the cart, is there anything that could, say, be knocked over?
It looks to be remarkably empty at present. You're not
Probably
saying,
moved everything
and also
inside
you're
right
not
now.
physically close enough for that. You'd have to cross into
No,
open
no, no.
line of sight.
Ah, but you forget. I had some Moogle. That
Right.
can
But
move
also,
things.
again, there's nothing in there right
Nothing
now.
in the cart.
Yeah.
Can Aeon move the cart even just a little bit?
No. Generally speaking, the way I
big?
handle levitation is that it's like it simply lets you manipulate objects from a distance, but the weight of the objects you manipulate is the same as you would with your hands.
The moment you wish for an eject
yeah.
spell.
So
In
like
that
so
case,
like that would
Han-
require a very, very big force check that I doubt Aeon could meet.
No.
Mm.
And Aeon being the size that he is and the strength that he has, Aeon's pretty much only can do like little light things.
Yeah, like the dagger. If
Yeah.
she was a high enough thievery.
I
Or a
mean, I
fish.
do have thievery.
But anyways, after a moment, he sort of scans his eyes around before his eyes eventually land on the patch of trees where Kyanna, Rosa, and Fluffy are hiding.
Oh.
And he sees his face kind of tighten into a grimace. And he closes the door. You hear a lock, and then feet scurrying further back in.
He's running.
Alright. Rose is gonna
Fluffy,
yeah.
go, Fluffy
on the
goes, go
reins
to the back.
towards the door. Kick the door.
You're having Fluffy attack the door?
Yeah,
that's
it's a
happening.
chocobo versus a wooden door that's half rotted.
Okay, force
it's like-
check for me, please.
Just a note, Kanara's going to cover the back.
Okay, one thing at a time. That'll take a moment to do. So let's do Fluffy first.
Okay.
Oh, that's a real shit roll. No, I don't think I did that. That's 5.
5. Remarkably,
I rolled a
this door
3.
this door is in better shape than it looks. So Fluffy comes up, brings up her foot, and
Fucking doors!
and just backs up a bit, sort of hopping on one talon for a second. Just,
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, just
all right, now we turn to Kanara, one at a time.
Doors.
So Kanara, if you could do me a favor and make an athletics check before you go sprinting too
thought
far
as
ahead.
much. Thought as much. I was gonna say, I don't know why just imagine like basically all that big force charging up and then bonk.
Or trip on a route like the rest of everyone.
oh my god.
The root tripper.
Is that gonna be Cassandra's thing? Is just you all making fun of her because she tripped on a
2
root?
campaigns in a row, you rolled the first crit fail.
Shut your face, Tom.
5. Let's go.
All right, which comes out to a total of
Let's see, my 13.
13.
Because
All right,
I have
yeah. So
Also,
Kunara,
it's not a root thing, it's a mud bath thing.
all right, so Kunara, making good use of your natural speed, you sort of drop onto all fours and wolf sprint around the edge of the house before you sort of slide to a halt and rise back up to your full height just before your target would be about to sort of like go barreling through. And for purposes of that, I will go ahead and give you a visual on the inside of this building, at least for this part of it.
Yes.
What?
One of our families
Alright.
came in just for a sec.
All right.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Sorry for this.
Everyone is running away.
Interruption.
I literally said we could have lockpick it, but okay.
Well, I was hoping to freaking get at this guy by surprise.
Also, looking at that, the thief is about to run through the hole in the back, so... Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the chocobo goes to the back and blocks him.
Well, I thought big chocobo going through a rusty hinge, rotted away door that's 100 years old and was underwater for like a month. But no, I rolled a 3.
Does it need to wait for people who went AFK to come back and then it can more?
Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah,
Darkness.
All right,
now
so
we just have to wait for darkness, our old friend.
gonna break his fucking knees again.
I'll be called people children. Where are thy shins, wolf lady?
Are you guys do have permission, so.
Yes. We have permission to kick his shins in.
Yep.
Who said we have permission?
You have my permission to perform a surgical ambulatory procedure.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
My own job just literally called me saying, "Oh, can you work tonight?" No.
No.
Like where?
No,
Like where
and
do you
small
work?
person must kill thief.
Like where do you work, Ari?
Burlington.
And how late do they stay open?
Till closing time, which would be look at the freaking hours. Well, my hours is normally 12 to 6, so I'm just like 12 to 6 is fine. It's normally like 5 hours, which is like 5 hours. But I don't. Let me look up the freaking. It's some. They're technically putting me into overnight shift, but I'm like no.
Overnight shift? Like,
Yeah.
why would somebody want an overnight shift?
Money.
People who have insomnia. I'm sorry.
I mean, hey, it's overtime, and that's a big paycheck, so I can.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, overtime usually is paid a little bit more because.
Because it's legally required to pay more.
Mm-hmm.
If that
I
weren't a
know,
legal
just like-
requirement, I can guarantee you they wouldn't.
I've only ever had to work an overnight shift once, and that was Black Friday.
Oh,
I was
no.
literally in that store till like 3 in the morning, and then I had to be back at 8 in the morning later that day. So I was not happy that day.
Yeah, I bet.
Plus, Black Friday is like hell.
Oh, I'll get a freaking whiff of that in a few.
Do you have any idea how annoying it is when somebody asks you for the same deal that you've been out of, like, you open for Black Friday, you have this deal that everybody wants, and in the first hour, all of it's gone. All of your stock is gone for that deal. And then and then for the rest of the night, you get more and more people say, "Hey, do you got this deal anymore?" No, they're gone. Can you check the back? I did check the back. They're gone. Well, why are they gone? Because you got here late.
Because everyone fucking bought them all. Greedy munchkins.
I don't care how pissed you get. It's not here. And no, I can't order more. Does not work that way. This is a one-night deal, and you missed it. Sorry. Good night.
Darkness, where are you?
Where is this?
He
freaking
is
guy?
taking his sweet time.
Where is God?
I saw movement. I am seeing movement.
I am
Oh,
seeing
there he
you.
is.
Yes, we have a camera feed. Ha 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 ha.
I'm
All I can
back.
see is his foot, but I see. There you go.
Hey,
Now,
All right.
you
back to what?
have a
back
thief
to
barreling
Right.
into Wolf Lady.
Yes,
it's
so-
also technically to the predator.
So, to describe what you saw as you came circling around, the interior space of this building it definitely looks like a combination of old and run down and partially reinforced to be habitable. Off to your right, left-hand side to everyone else, you can actually see that there's this large tree that's sort of grown through the floorboards and pushed through the roof, letting in shafts of what you imagine would be naturally beautiful sunlight in the summer times, where it's not gray and gloomy as fuck today. You can see all along the floor marks of erosion and degradation, but also what almost appear to be more recent drag marks of heavy things being moved around. There's a circular table with a couple of stools sort of tucked into the far corner from you, and those look relatively new. You can see sort of in the shadow of that tree what looks to be sort of a makeshift like cooking station where like food could be prepared. And against, from your perspective, Kanara, the left-hand wall, there are two doors that lead into rooms you cannot see. And right in front of you, you can see the thief who already has his knife in his hand, and he kind of sort of jumps back a bit as you emerge into the hole in the wall.
If you value your life, I suggest you stand down.
Before we get to that, let's go back to everyone else. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Fluffy's trying again.
Okay.
Fluffy's trying. Fluffy's trying again.
Okay. Another force check. DC will be higher because you failed once.
Oh, come on. My shorty should be weaker because I already hit the door once. It should
He
be
said it was a
worse.
sturdy door.
Just roll it.
Rotten. God damn you.
The guy, man, you can tell already this door's been reinforced from the other side.
I'm getting Yu-Gi-Oh! A bridge
Okay.
vibe from this.
Much better. It's not quite a crit, but it'll work. 5 plus 6 plus 2. So, 13.
Okay, 13. That does it. You come barreling in, and with a mighty Fluffy, like, vent some frustration, work some shit out of her system as she boom just kicks this door down and boom, lands in the front of the room. And you are greeted to the same side as Kanara, just from the other angle. And the rest of you.
The book was right. Doors suck.
Fucking doors! Alright. Aeon, Sandra, Tiermith, Kayana, what you doing, bozos?
Basically climbing down now.
And
You climbed the tree?
climbed.
I just thought you were hiding behind the trunk, but alright.
Okay,
I
so.
guess I'll just go behind where Rosa is.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What about Tiermith? Where are you parking Tier? Right there? Okay.
He's.
That's a tight squeeze.
Dragon sits on Kai.
No.
Technically, she could.
Or
Kai's
I think
small.
even more Kai sits on Dragon if Aeon it is one.
Yeah. Anyway, so I kind of come barreling into the room. The thief sort of steps back until he's perfectly framed between the two groups, looks back and forth, has his dagger in his hand. Ah, shit.
So,
Cassandra gets up to the front of the group. So, yeah. Nice vacation home.
It was until you kicked down my door. Thanks for that.
Well, there were lions. That was mean.
Again, Rosa, you could have like asked me to lockpick it, but
He was running away. There was a hole.
Anyway, so as you are now surrounded, I'm going to give you two options. One, you can return what you stole and come back with us peacefully, or we kick your teeth in and take you back in either a body bag or on your cart. Either way.
Maybe the second one. I think the second one's better.
Kind of gives each of you a look and turn.
Do you really think your little toothpick could stand up to my sword?
Oof.
You'd be surprised what a little toothpick can do when you find the gaps. As is. Sort of gives it a little twirl. If I turn myself over to you people, my life's as good as dead anyway, so...
Why did you steal the book?
Ay,
That-
ay, ay, ay.
That is none of your damn business, kid.
Oh.
Right. Well, alright. Everyone, let's kick his teeth in, but leave him alive. I got questions for him.
He drops into a battle stance and...
Fluffy! Sit.
and combat starts!
Yeah, well, Fluffy is going with trying to sitting on thief maneuver.
All right,
last time.
all right. I
Well,
believe
this time.
Yep, I need an accuracy check, I believe.
No, not for Fluffy attacking. That's just a once per combat thing that happens.
Let me see here.
Doesn't say anything about accuracy, and that's how it happened last time.
All right.
By
fair
the
enough.
way,
Yep.
since
Alright.
that has begun, does the thing go? Or is it still in effect?
You can choose to maintain your previous paradigm, or you can swap to a new one. Your choice.
I keep the one we got. It's good.
5, 36, 38. 39 points of damage and rolled for post roll for blindness.
39. Fuck.
That's why it's once per combat. It's good.
All right, and what did you roll for blindness?
It's the posed check. I think it's posed force, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I rolled a 3 again. Fuck me. So
yeah. No.
5.
No blind. So you come charging in, Fluffy. That's brings up her leg up into the sort of a kicking swing. The thief lifts up, sort of tries to step back a bit, but still takes the brunt of the kick, like in the lower part of his ribs, and is kind of lifted off his feet and lands back there a little bit. All right, so that was a standard action, so. All right, Kunara's charge again.
Gotta do that roll.
Need accuracy from you, Darkness. Darkness, you're muted.
My love.
Yeah, sorry, my mother was in at the moment. But anyways, I rolled a 10.
A 10. That will hit.
There we go. Right, see if I don't get any more interruption. Good. Now I shall roll for damage.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, another 10, so that's 20 damage to him.
Jeez. All right.
Dude. Fine.
All right.
So, you chose combat. Unfortunate for you.
All right. Who's next?
Oh, Aeon.
Hmm.
She holds out an ether for him. Why don't you show this guy your magic trick?
No, Koopa.
Is Aeon refusing to fight?
No, he just doesn't want to take the ether.
Okay.
But you love doing your magic trick.
Tyrmith kind of gives you a look, Aeon.
Look, if you're doing this to spite me, now is not the time.
Shush it, lizard.
What if you used one of the ethers that's in my pockets?
No. I can take care of myself, Koopa.
Kids! God!
I am surrounded by children.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I see Kai just like leaning against the freaking wall, just like, yeah, feel my pain.
You're kind of just in the most awkward position. You just see a Moogle and a dragon just like
Arguing.
it's like stop being a child. You be quiet. Just
Synchronized, we are not.
Cassandra is just groaning and then rushing in with his her spear.
All right, 12 will hit.
Keeping an eye on the kids, Kai.
Feels so different to the campaign one party.
Well, you claim to be an adult. You are the babysitter.
Oh.
Congratulations.
All right. All right, so Cassandra, you come in, you bring your weapon around, and leave a fugly little mark in his chest. Like, "Argh!" And at this point, the dude's going to use his only destiny point to take a destiny action.
Oh.
Because you want him to have a turn before he goes down.
Yeah, and he's immediately going to reach into a pack, pull out a potion, and just chug it.
Well, that's. Let's say that's.
Oh.
Not fair.
Okay.
Alright,
What
Kai, you
potion?
wanna
Or is it? There's an.
The
All right.
25% back to him.
Yep.
Uh,
All right.
wish to shoot the bastard.
so I guess we're just hitting him again. All right.
No, it's not your turn yet.
Idiot.
Oh.
Kai, Aeon, and Tia need to go.
Well, Tyr's turn is tied to Cassandra's, so.
Alright.
Okay, might as well shoot the guy from where she is, because right now she's making sure that the other two children over there.
I'm just gonna use that last point 2 of movement to move here. Just help the way slowly.
All right.
Because she wants to make sure the other two children don't argue. So she's
I
just
see.
like-
So
she's just like, all right, let me just do this. She just holds out her freaking gun.
All right.
God.
And we're still under the benefits of the commando stat right now, right? Darkness?
Yep.
All right, so your
Yep.
accuracy is increased by 1.
Okay. With Dex, right? Oh,
But
wait.
we gotta roll your accuracy first.
Yeah, I figured.
so just
it.
to check, he chugged down a potion on our turn, correct?
Yeah, that is a thing
Yeah.
that notorious enemies and bosses can do so long as they have destiny points to spend. They can spend a point of destiny to immediately get a standard action.
D&D
Ah.
legendary actions, but anyone
Pretty
with
much.
Destiny can do it.
I see.
10.
10, that'll hit. Damage.
That's what I got throughout.
I just literally like how my work called me, just like, oh, can you work this today? No.
Sensing a lot of salt over there. I love it. Very justified salt.
I mean, work does make people very salty.
18.
18.
Max damage.
Nice. All right. Gunshot. Echoes loudly in the chamber to sort of get him through the leg. And that just leaves Aeon. What is Aeon doing? You refuse the ether, so you don't have enough MP for media, right?
Nah.
Yeah, rise it up.
If I did an ability, if I did stasis strike, does that mess up anything? Like if it doesn't end the battle, does it? If he's the only one.
Let me double check what Stasis Strike even does. By taking a standard action and making a successful opposed force roll once per session, you can transport one opponent into the vacuous space outside of time. The chosen enemy becomes untargetable, immune to all damage and effects, afflicted by stun, even if they'd normally be immune to its effects, and ultimately removed from combat for 1 round. At the end of the time mage's next turn, the monster comes staggering back into reality, entering the effect and automatically inflicting them with the confused status. Creatures who spent a large amount of time in the void or the far plane or some other extraplanar space are generally immune to this ability.
Honestly,
So
if
it
this
skips
works,
his attack.
I mean, if this works, he's just gonna come back confused and not knowing like what the hell's going on.
Yeah, that gives you guys a good chance so he doesn't hit you.
Nice,
That's
I
actually
like
really-
that. He skips a
That's actually really
turn.
Thing is it
And he's
doesn't. The thing is, stasis strike doesn't specify a range.
Ow, ow.
I mean, I can move, but that was the issue I had, like, because it doesn't explain that.
Oh.
For purposes, because it's very clearly you doing some magic tomfoolery, and I think this is what we did during the mini adventure. I'll let you do it so long as you're within 1 medium range.
Okay, so.
So
That
you're
makes sense.
so you're just within range to do it regardless. So, but you still have to make that
okay, I
opposed.
still move.
Yeah, but you still have to succeed
Okay.
on that opposed force check.
So, alright, so. And it's just ruled 2d6 plus whatever my force is.
Yes.
Okay, so.
He rolled a 10.
Come on. You got this. Mikey
Damn it.
time, Moogle.
Oh, unfortunate. So, Aeon, you kind
Yeah.
of come flitting forward. You lift up your Mog wand, you give it a couple little twirls, and it doink! And like a few little sparks kind of poof, sort of puff out of it, Kingdom Hearts style. And the thief kind of tilts his head at you before the sort of space behind him unzips, and he looks back, and there's just this hole in the fabric of reality that opened behind him. He's like, "What the?" And just sort of barely duck rolls to the side in time to avoid it as it like snaps over where he had been like a mouth. So he barely
What?
dodged that.
Rosa.
All right, and with that, it is now to his turn.
Oh god.
So, the first thing I'm going to have him do is I'm going to have him spend an instant action to use his job ability, Feint, against Rosa. So, Rosa, I need you to make a finesse check.
Hey, that's one I'm actually good at.
Thing is you're rolling against his acting skill, which is very high.
Oh.
Don't
Ugh.
fall for the act.
9.
You got
That does not. I'm afraid your 9 does not beat his 11 plus 6. So
What?
he has a plus
my
6 in
word.
his acting skill because thief, and a lot of his skills rely on that. And he rolled an 11. So dice like him. So your avoidance is now effectively 0 until his turn ends.
Alright.
And with that, he is going to basically, he's sort of like lifts up his dagger as if he's going to strike at you, and you sort of instinctively lift up your arms in front of you to like try and protect against that. But then instead of stabbing you, his hand is going to flash out, grab hold of your wrist, or try to at least. So, I mean, he didn't roll snake eyes, so he gets this. Does not do any damage, but he does drag you off of Fluffy onto the ground in front of him. He has you held, and he's going to place his knife right up to your throat.
Oh, son of a bitch! Great.
Rosa.
Okay. Ow.
All right, so that was his standard action to do that. He still has a movement action. Because he has you held, it's going to be halved, and he's sort of like scanning his eyes angrily across the rest of you. He's like, "You all know what happens if you try to get too close, right?" And he's sort of starting to like creep his way this way. Back to the party. Rosa, what are you doing as you've got a knife up to your throat and you're being dragged back by this guy?
How is the knife just kind of an inch from it, or is it literally pressing into my throat?
It's pressing pretty tight into your throat.
Can you? She is frozen.
Cassandra is going to look at him very sternly.
Don't.
You listen to me. I promise you, you're not walking away from this. And any injury you put on her, I will make sure that you live through twice, no, 10 times worse before you die.
Go ahead and make for me a negotiation check.
Do I get any bonuses for being scary?
No. That being said, if you succeed this check, I will award you a point of destiny for being scary.
Please, dice, please.
It just says no.
Are you?
Unfortunately,
Fucking
he does
dice.
not. Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to be moved by your threatening words. It gives you this sort of cocky smile. You see, if you had the balls to back up that threat, you'd have done so already. You stay right where you are, and this girl doesn't get hurt. And you make a move, though, throat goes open.
Rosa is going to, looking at Cassandra, looking out to her captor. How small is this dagger? Like, it's like the blade and his wrist and hand right up to her mouth, but within biting range.
I would say that the knife is like I'd say that the blade is maybe about a little less than the length of a forearm. Like, it's not a tiny dagger. This is a dagger meant for fighting, so like his mouth isn't like rather his hand is not right up to your mouth. You could try to bite him.
What would that be, roll-wise?
It would be an accuracy check, but before you would make that, I would probably ask for an escape check.
Escape check.
I'm a bit stumped. I'm thinking what to do myself.
Yeah, given the turn this has taken, I'm going to change the music real quick.
Hmm.
Do that, or I'm looking to try to look through. I have support abilities.
On the one hand,
You're gonna pause
I don't want to
that.
do anything to risk the character. On the other hand, I'm also thinking of Kamara's mindset.
God, if only I hadn't used Fluffy's ability already.
There we go. That works.
Alright, I'm just going. Rosa is just going to look at Cassandra, at the thief with the knife. She's shitting herself, absolutely. Like, just fear in her eyes. But listen to Cassandra, what she's going to raise her foot and just stamp on his foot as hard as she fucking can. Try and make him flinch.
All right, I was kind of imagining that you were like partially on the ground because he dragged you off of Fluffy, but all right.
Well, that would. I imagine, like, pulled her to the feet, otherwise he'd be on the ground too, and that kind of puts him in the compromising position.
Fair enough.
Okay, if she is on the ground, what if she just kicks? Or what if she just hits him in the dick?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine he would have hefted Rosa up because he's backing towards the door. He would need her up for that.
Probably, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Fair point. Okay, in that case, it would be an accuracy check to stomp on his foot, and it would be considered an improbable weapon attack. So, let me double check the rulings on that really quick.
Do we still have the +1 from Kanara?
Yeah.
I think.
I would
Let me just
imagine
double
so.
check how improbable weapons work really quick, because that's a thing. Who's disarmed or otherwise being forced to rely on fists and crude temporary weapons follow some special rules. Unless they have abilities or equipment properties to help them out in such a situation, unarmed strikes deal as much as though they were tier 1 weapon, blah, 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 with no additional bonuses. Improbable weapons are not complicated because their damage to depends on Alright,
So would it be plus power or dex for this?
it would be your power. It would be your power plus 2d6 points of armor damage should you hit, but you need to make that accuracy check first.
Alright, so accuracy 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
And I suppose Kanara's just waiting for like an opening.
12.
Yeah.
All right, that will hit his avoidance of 8. So 2d6, add your power.
Come on, window of opportunity.
6, 10.
10. All right, so you sort of stomp hard down on his foot and it's like, ah, damn it! And like the blade presses a bit tighter into your throat, but there's like a brief moment where people have a reactionary thing where they can react. Kanara's closest, so Kanara can react first before the immediate harm comes to Rosa. So what do you wish to do, Kanara? You just saw Rosa stamp on this guy's foot and surprise him. What you doing?
Oh, Obviously, she's not going to use her as much as she wants to use a weapon. She may accidentally cut Rose in the process, so probably try to
she does
strain the
care.
guy off her.
All right, you're gonna try and like grab the thief and drag him off of Rosa. All right, you're getting close. I would like you first to make an athletics check to cross the distance before the knife does any harm to Rosa.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It won't be a high roll because you are very close.
Rolled a 9. But
All right.
should I just re-roll? Or is it...
And just add your athletics.
Well, is it 9 in total?
A 9. Okay.
I rolled 6 on the dice, and I got 3 in athletics.
All right. Well, either way, that just beats the 8 he rolled.
Ooh.
So you get to him before his blade can cut into Rosa's throat. I need you to make an opposed force check against him now to pry him off.
Okay. I'm going to use both hands for this.
He rolled an 8.
Come on, beat an 8, damn it. If I don't beat that 8, I am going to use my only destiny point. I must.
Come on, I get my throat slit.
Come on.
That's a 2 and a
Oh!
5.
I mean, I think I did it.
2 and a 5, that's 6 and a 7 plus 4, so yeah.
Voice is correct. Oh, okay.
Honey,
That's a nut. So he rolled an 8.
He rolled an 8.
I got a 9 again.
All right, so you just beat him again. So, like, Rosa, for a brief second, you feel your heart rate just accelerate as you feel the blade, like, actually starting to, like, part the flesh of your neck. But before it can get to anything important, Kunara just comes barreling in with this wolf-like growl, grabs on the guy's knife hand and the back of his head and just pries both back, giving you the freedom to quickly get away. So you now have your movement action.
She just falls to the floor, clutching her throat.
I can imagine Canars is like putting all her weight on him and just holding the guy.
He didn't get anything major, but he did slice into the throat, so imagine he is bleeding.
Yeah.
The cut.
Okay, so I will say that
it.
from that you did take 2 points of damage from the cut.
Yeah, so she just falls to the floor, knees, one hand, her right hand is just clasping her throat.
So, yeah, Cassandra's going to run immediately in front of her, keeping herself between him and Rosa, and is going to freaking swat at him with her spear,
All right.
like the fly that he is.
All right.
All right.
You were just trying to traumatize Rosa on our first outing, aren't you? Fuck.
11.
All right, an 11 will hit. All right, 16. All right, yep, that hits. All right, so you come in sort of a quickly, like, gently nudge Rosa back so you have room. Bring the staff, your spear around, and give a little slice across his shoulder as he's fighting with Kunara. All right, let's hear. So that is Cassandra, Kunara, and Rosa who have gone. Aeon and Kayana, you two can still go. And just for purposes, I'm going to move Tiermith up to about here, just as he's trying to get into a better position to be helpful if called on.
This fight's not in your favor. Yield.
Oh my.
Make a negotiation check.
Let's see if the wolf scares him.
Or rather, in this case, just because of like the imposing figure you use when trying to intimidate people, I'll let Kunara use force instead of negotiation to try and intimidate folks.
All right.
The 1 and 6.
So add that to my force, which was, I believe, the same. Let's see. It is.
I think it's a 9 again.
I keep getting a lot of 9s.
9.
What is with all these 9s? This ain't freaking Apex with the
Well,
shotgun
this
shooting
is
9.
campaign 2.
I am tempted to re-roll, but let's see what he
No,
gets.
no reroll. Just he rolled a 6. So once the dice roll, unless I call for a reroll, that's the number. So
I just thought because of the wall thing that we do.
nope,
If we ever want to re-roll,
nope.
spend a destiny.
Yeah, well, spending a destiny doesn't let you reroll; it lets you add a die.
Ah,
The reroll was something Lee had in one of her abilities.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Soul.
Yeah. Anyway, so as is, with that, sort of like as you snarl that into his face, like like you could tell this guy's actually really hurt at this point from the various wounds he's accumulated. And so as you snarl that into his face, and Cassandra has the spear poised to just gouge him out. After a couple more seconds of sort of struggling, he relents and you just sort of like just shove him down against the wall and the crooks of the floor, and he has yielded.
We should also imagine Kanasa sticking her claws in, at least.
Oh yeah.
Gloves.
So yeah, the guy has surrendered. Combat is over.
Cassandra immediately just goes to hug Rosa.
Comfort her. I got him.
She doesn't respond. She is just clutching her throat, breathing heavily.
She just freaking just starts petting Rosa's head. It's alright. I'm here. It's over.
Fluffy is adding comfort to the mix, sort of kneeling down and giving you little nuzzles.
She slowly pulls her hand away from the wound, and how much blood is there from that?
Thankfully, not very much. There's like a little smear, but it's not too terribly much. Maybe 1 or 2 drops hit the floor, but you're otherwise fine. He didn't hit anything major. Barely broke the skin.
She doesn't say anything. She just stays on the floor.
Kanara. Darkness.
Yep. I'm here. Hello?
Kanara. Take that shit stain outside.
Will do. Drags him.
Yep, you haul him out. He is no longer fighting back. So, I'll just park you two out front for the time being.
Oh. I'll just got that way because it'd be a lot quicker, but okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
For me, I'm gonna put Kai in front. Excuse me. Damn it. And just like bandage, like have a little. I think she would have like bandages there.
You can make a healing check.
Okay. Let me just see the thing. Hey.
Do you have anything in healing?
I am good friend, even though she is sassy.
You have healing.
Shut up. Healing somebody as well. 7.
All right, 7. It is a very minor injury, but all the same, you still sort of reach into your pack and you withdraw a few things that usually would be used to like you get out like a small bit of like tape that you would normally use to like seal up like a crack in a window or something, and a small cotton swab used for like cleaning grease off of something so you can get a better look. You combine those two things and you get to sort of a rudimentary like, you just press the swab up and adhere it with the tape, and that should prevent any further bleeding. Rosa, you regain 5 hit points. You are back to max.
She, as this is being applied, kind of goes into a kneeling position, lets it happen, but she's just kind of wide-eyed, staring into space. Still breathing heavily, just not really responding to stimuli.
Rosa. She's still not responding?
Nope.
Rosa.
Hey, you okay? Are you alive inside? Jeez.
Give her some slack. She almost just died.
She just kind of curls up into herself a little bit.
Again, Cassandra just pulls her into her chest and just holds her. You're alright.
She, her breath increases. She crunches her eyes shut, and she reaches her arms out around Cassandra and kind of just no real sound, but tears start just flowing down her cheeks.
Which I would say Kanara's ears are twitching and picking up on that.
Maybe.
On the other side of the door.
She just kind of keeps kneeling there, holding on and silently crying.
Tiermouth backs off a second later, then turns and starts heading for the door. Pauses briefly by Aeon.
You gonna go to her? Feel like she could use you more than me right now.
Then he walks by and heads out to join Kunara.
He just kind of slowly flies over. Floats over, whatever.
Whatever the word is.
I'm so sorry, Rosa. This is my fault.
Sandra.
I should have never brought you out here. You were my responsibility, and I'm so sorry.
She clings on a little tighter, but doesn't otherwise reply.
You know, I actually have enjoyed our time together. It's honestly kind of cute just how much you were into me. How you saw me as this big, important figure. But I'm not my grandpapa. Just keeps happening.
You're going slightly robotic.
Yeah, just a little.
Timing for that.
Alright, so. Alright, just let me try
Yeah, you are really cutting out.
You're bad.
Yeah, you kind of.
Try,
All the time.
try popping out and try popping back in.
At a sentimental
How
time.
about now?
That's fine, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good for
There
the
we go.
moment.
It's alright.
As I was trying to say, fuck you, Discord.
I get that problem.
He just. Okay, what's the last thing you guys could actually hear?
I'm not my grandfather. I think that's the last thing I said.
Okay.
I'm not like my grandfather.
Or as
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard, and then I heard followed up. This just keeps happening, or something along those lines.
That's about yeah, what she said. I'm not my grandpa, and this just keeps happening.
No. No. Stupid.
You're not stupid.
My stupid fault.
This isn't your fault.
I thought. Gee.
None of this was your fault. I should have been more careful. I should have... I didn't even think about you getting hurt. And I'm sorry about that.
That scared me.
Scared me too. I'm sorry I couldn't be the big badass hero that you thought I could be.
She looks up at you, kind of just shakes her head in denial of your words, and then returns to her prior position.
Rosa, could you roll me 1d6, please?
Alright. 5.
5. After a couple seconds of this quiet, Fluffy sort of gives you one more little nuzzle. And then her eyes sort of drift off towards the door. And hear just this little hiss come from the bottom of her voice before she starts heading towards the door.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
So
Rosa noticed the nuzzle, but aside from that, doesn't notice the rest of this, so...
Yeah, so outside, Kanara, as you're kind of watching over the thief, Tiermith came out a minute or so ago.
Mm.
And then a couple minutes
Which I will
later...
actually-
Go ahead.
All I was going to say was at this point, Kanara's probably been trying to get some information out of him, but also making sure he's restrained.
Yeah, we can say that's fine enough. He's restrained, but he's otherwise not really being cooperative or answering questions. He's just kind of sitting there and quiet.
Bad news for him. But go on, you were saying?
And as you're sort of trying to question him and whatnot, after a couple minutes, Fluffy comes walking out. Walks up to the thief. And then Fluffy just lifts up a foot and stamps it down on him.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh God! Kill the man!
Yeah. I mean, you're you're Fluffy's person, and this guy scared the shit out of and hurt you, and Fluffy is not taking kindly to that. If you'd rolled a 1 or a 3, Fluffy would have prioritized comforting you, but animal protective instincts kicked in. Eliminate the threat. Kill the thing that made the thing I love
Wait.
sad.
Oh no.
So wait, is he dead?
I mean, yeah, Fluffy's damage output is at least 30, and he only has 14 hit points left, so Fluffy sort of just comes up and just crashes into his head, and he is just...
For reference, I'm not there, so we don't get the bonus, but right now it's 27 plus 2d6 damage.
Yeah, no way he's surviving that, so Fluffy just stamps on his head, and it just pops like a watermelon as she forces him into the ground.
No.
So the rest of you hear sort of a crunching noise from where you are, and followed by a few more, because Fluffy just stomps his corpse a few more times.
I understand your frustration, but we needed him alive. Unfortunately.
The other Chocobo doing?
The other Chocobo ran away when the fighting started.
Not as loyal then as Fluffy.
So after a second, Fluffy just... and turns back inside, claws now tracking blood as she returns to Rosa's side.
Well,
Bloody bird.
Literally.
we'll deal with that in a bit. First, we gotta get Rosa actually talking again.
Session got dark.
Yeah?
Well, yeah, freaking Rosa gets taken
I guess it may not be deep, but still got a throat slit. Jesus.
And then now Fluffy's literally just killed the only guy who we can get information out of him. So yeah, this first little outing's going great.
Yeah, fun fact, Fluffy going berserk and killing the guy was not originally in my plan, but then again, neither was you guys letting him live, so it just kind of worked out.
You just didn't want us getting any information out of him.
I mean, I had a plethora of reasons, but it also does make sense for Fluffy.
I guess.
So yeah, Fluffy has now returned to Rosa and is once again sort of settling down beside her and giving her, affectionate nuzzles and little coos and whatnot.
Rosa is oblivious to all hell to any of this.
Rosa, Kupo. Please, Kupo. Smile again, Kupo.
Oh no. Now I feel bad.
Come on.
Hug,
She can't.
My
Kupo.
emotional self.
Come on. Even catatonic Rosa can't ignore the aim.
Rosa, I'm sorry.
It doesn't so much as shake Rosa out of anything more than she looks up at Aeon and just pulls him in.
Kupo.
That is so cute. I'm literally crying.
Cassandra literally just pulls them both in close to just keep Rosa.
Can we go back to the city now?
Yeah, we're gonna get you home. I promise.
She stands up and slowly lets Aeon go. Sorry, Aeon. Just begins to, in a half daze, meander out.
Alright.
Until she gets to the door, sees the thief, just gives in a deep gasp.
Before you say anything, thanks to your bird, we won't be getting any information from him. Completely crush his skull to a bloody pulp.
Shut up! Just storms off.
Aeon,
Yeah.
can you do me a big favor?
What is it, Kupo?
Go fly with her. Try to... Just make sure she's okay. Don't let her be alone.
Okay, Sanja. I'll be back, Kupo.
You're the best, Aeon.
Alright. So
So now Cassandra goes down to the guy. And do I have anything scavenge? I do not. Does anyone here have scavenge?
don't need to roll anything for scavenge for this.
I mean, I figured Kanara was doing that anyway, because
So, like, do they have the book?
leftovers.
So, you find on this body, you find 120 gil. You find one more potion. You find his dagger, which is a tier 1 concealed weapon. And you find the book that you were looking for, albeit now soaked in blood.
See, is it just soaked in blood? It's like, well, I'm probably gonna yell at for this. But at this point, I really don't freaking care.
Alright, so who wants the potion and who wants the dagger?
I see Kanara basically taking the dagger.
If she wants to. I don't know. Can warriors use concealed weapons?
Warriors can use a very wide assortment of weapons. Pretty much the only weapons they can't use, I think, are arcane.
Arcane and dual wield.
Okay, fair enough. So, yeah, if you want, you to just... Well, I mean, I don't know why you would want it, but if you want to.
Hey, it's Kanara. If she
Okay,
sees something
fair
that
enough.
could be useful, she uses it.
Okay.
Hmm.
You okay, Kai?
I'm fine.
This is all my fault.
No.
Tiermouth kind of hops up onto one of the guardrails of the wagon.
No, it's not.
This was my idea to bring everybody here. You, me, and Aeon could have just came here and nobody would have gotten hurt.
I mean, maybe, but at the end of the day, I had no way of knowing things would have gone that bad. Am I saying it was necessarily right to bring Rosa along? Naive as she is? Probably not, but... How many times have you held me or held Aeon and told us to be alright because things worked out?
I'm the big sister. That's my job.
Well,
Then he sort of hops up onto your shoulders and sort of coils around your neck like a scarf again.
now it's my turn to return the favor. It didn't go to plan, but we still came out alright in the end.
I appreciate it, Tyr. I'm just... not right now.
And he just kind of rests his chin on your shoulder and goes quiet.
Kai and Kunara, just go on ahead and make sure everybody else is okay. I'll catch up.
For the record, you have no idea how the outcome could have been. But think of it like this. Say by some weird twist of fate that she still went on this quest but didn't have, I suppose, any of us around. How would you think it would have gone?
If she had never met us, this wouldn't have happened anyway.
You would never know that. Don't try to beat yourself up about it. The best you can do is learn from your mistakes. And don't try to put the blame on all yourself when it's clearly not.
And this guy going too?
Yeah. She was just listening.
And Gnaz is silently walking off.
Alright. So that just leaves Cassandra with Tiermouth for a bit.
And as they're out of earshot, she just says to herself, not my fault. Just add another one to the list that I hurt just for being around.
Tiermouth kind of coils around you a little tighter in response to that, but doesn't say anything.
EM, I've sent you a thing that will be now going forward. That was a lot.
Alrighty. Good to know.
And she just starts walking to try to catch up with the rest of them, just not too fast.
Alright. And so with that, the thief taken down, and your objective complete, you press on and begin making your way back towards Marasu.
How does it look at the moment? Like, what time of the day?
I'd say it's about noon. You could probably make it back to Marasu in just a handful of hours. Like, you left you left early in the... You left late at night is when you left Marasu. That's why you had to camp at all. It's not a long trek to get to where you are, so it'll only be like an hour or two of walking to get back. So you'll be back in time for a late lunch.
Rosa is pretty dead silent on the way back.
If there is any conversation any of you wish to have on the way back, now is the time. Otherwise, we press on. So, you make your way southward for the next, I'd say like 3 or so hours, before eventually Marasu comes back into view in the distance. The weather is gradually starting to clear up as you're returning, things brightening up outside. And before long, you make your way back in through the city gates, which currently stand open for the daylight hours and traffic. A little tired, mood very much diminished after that harrowing experience, but otherwise fine and successful. The city is before you. How do you proceed?
Cassandra catches up to Rosa and just takes her hand.
I imagine Rosa's on Fluffy's back right now, right?
No, she's
Oh.
not.
Oh, okay.
She was walking the entire way.
Come on, Rosa. I'm taking you home.
No, you can't. No. Kind of a hand goes to the bandage. Not like this. No.
Where do you want to go, Rosa? Cooper?
As the book. Tam wanted to meet you. Should go to Tam. Yes, just anywhere not there.
Oh yeah, and it should be noted that as you were coming back to the city, Tiermith took back to the skies, so he is not presently with you.
Mm-hmm.
Please, not there.
Just squeezes Rosa's hand. Okay. Let's go get rid of this damn book and go talk to this Tam, I guess. See if he can permanently get that healed.
Have Aeon hug the other side of Rosa's arm, opposite of Cassandra.
Right.
I perhaps would also visit your healer. There's one
Tam's a
decent
white
visit.
mage. He can. Him.
Although mine would be more private. But you can go first.
Fair
You-
enough.
Canary, you don't have to stick with us. You know, we mean we pulled you into that, and just.
It is true. You dragged me along on this unexpected venture.
Yes, and that was stupid. That was stupid, and you know, if you want to go, just go. All right.
Stop. Enough. I will not have you scattering about, saying random words, putting the full blame upon you. We all made mistakes. We're only mortal beings, after all. We're not perfect. We're not gods. We're just flesh and bone.
You've been wanting to go since we met you. Why stay now?
Well, I have my own reasons. But if you want the honest opinion, if you're planning on going on any more adventures, I suppose you're going to need someone to watch out for you all. I see that spark in you. I know now you're terrified, but I know you want greatness and make a name of yourself. Perhaps have your own little chronicles. But right now, you need to get yourself patched up and calm yourself. That's all I ask. Can you do that?
No reply.
You may have all the time you need.
Come on. Let's go get rid of this damn book. I don't want to look at it anymore.
Right,
Actually-
so before we press on, for some damn good roleplay there, I would like to award a destiny point to Darkness, Tom, and Hades.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And also, everyone will get a destiny point for the defeat of the thief.
Ah. Double the award.
Indeed.
And remember, you're a warrior, Darkness, so you should get an extra.
Yeah, so Darkness gets a total of 3
indeed I
destiny
do.
points.
Triple.
Oh, baby, a triple!
Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah, remember to give yourself a point of destiny there, hun.
Done.
Good.
Adding it to my shit.
Now I actually have enough to do a limit break. If I had one!
In time, my friend. In time. It should be, I believe, level
Bless you.
3, correct?
Bless you.
Or later.
Level 3 is usually about the time I start awarding limit breaks for this group, yeah.
Hmm.
Add one for me, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one destiny.
So.
Alright, so you hadn't turn in the book first?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so
Cassandra just honestly wants to get rid of it. I don't think she even cares about being paid at this point.
Alright, well, so you make your way up to the, back to the 2 squares and to the Whiskers corner where Ilfric mentioned he was staying. As you poke your way in, looks like the lunch rush just died down, so it's pretty quiet inside as you slip in through the front doors into the sort of central common area. The music that's being played by the minstrels off to the side is very low and very chill and gentle up on the stage. No dancer at present. And as you sort of cast your eyes about, you can see sort of tucked off near one corner, you can see the sort of proper-looking Ilfric sort of at a table. He has a little backpack sort of leaned up against his leg by the chair, and he has a bunch of books on the table, and he's reading one of them intently.
So Cassandra takes the book and just looks at Aeon. Watch her for me, okay? Hun?
Sorry, my mom came in to ask me something. What's wrong?
That's fine. I say they walk inside. Cassandra takes the book. Is gonna go turn in. She just turns to Aeon. Keep her company just for a minute, okay?
Yes, Sandra. Copa.
Just kind of gives him a little pet on the head. And then walks over to the Ilfric. What's his name?
Ilfric.
And I
Kinda-
say Kana would be waiting outside by the medical ward.
Alright.
Okay, so
Well, this place has the waitress that has the hots for you.
What,
okay,
at the
so-
medical ward? What is she doing there?
You're not in the medical ward, you're at the tavern right now.
We're at Whiskers Corner.
Turning in
Yeah.
the damn quest. Before you
Our
go to
old
see Tam.
haunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just wait outside and we'll take her. And then Cassandra just goes up and just slams the book in front of him.
Oh, it's you, you're back. His eyes sort of land on the book. Oh dear.
It's your damn book.
I take it things did not go well?
No, they did not. And before you ask, no, we didn't get a chance to ask why he stole it or for what.
Oh, well. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't all that concerned about the why of it. I just wanted my property back.
Well, there it is.
He sort of takes it, pulls it back, sort of winces a little bit. Ooh. And then he pulls it open, and you can see like a little flickers of light from the page, and Ilfric's expression just darkens a bit. That's unfortunate.
What?
These books are very sensitive. I'm not blaming you. Just so we're clear on that. I'm not blaming you or accusing you of anything, but the blood that soaked into the pages has damaged the tome. It no longer functions. But that's hardly your fault. A deal's a deal. And he reaches down and withdraws a pouch. Sets it on the table. There you are. The payment as promised.
She just kind of looks at it. And then just turns around and walks away.
Oh, fuck.
Alright.
And just goes back to grabbing Rose's hand and just leaves the tavern.
Alright.
So if he's leaving the tavern, would that mean takes it all where Gana's just waiting outside or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gennaro
just-
is like leaning against the wall waiting.
God.
This got grim. I like it.
The role player in me applauds that decision. The gamer in me screams.
Again, gamer wise, if this was just a game, I probably wouldn't reject the money. But as far as just Cassandra would feel like,
I know,
it's-
that was... I felt like the moment they said that the tome was useless and that was pretty much all for nothing, that Cassandra was an inch from murdering him.
I definitely got a scene, but
So, just to make this clear, just what I had in my head, if he actually got pissed off that we ruined the book, Cassandra was going to grab him by the throat.
Oh.
So he's lucky he didn't actually try to, you know.
Yeah.
I will say that was badass what you did, and also reminiscence to one of my favorite quest missions for the Witcher, where you just gives you the option: do you want to take it or not? And you decide not to.
Just there's such a massive fuck you to the guy.
Which even that pompous ass was like,
Mm.
Gives you-
So, on to town, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're leaving the tavern, and I was
Yeah, we're
there.
leaving the tavern. We're going to town.
So, before that,
Okay.
as you were as your character's walking out, I guess. So you actually didn't take it?
I don't want blood money.
That is something I can respect.
Come on, let's get her to town.
Rosa kind of looks up at Cassandra, and for the moment you swear you can see that the briefest return of that twinkle that she has been known for before it kind of diminishes again, and kind of looks off to the side. It was very brief, but it was there. He's up in the castle. Oh, this way.
Alright, so you make your way through the streets, winding up a steady incline up towards perhaps the oldest structure of Marasu, the old castle. While you know, Rosa, that it has undergone significant and severe retrofits and upgrades since the events of the Ember Tide and the Flood, being almost halfway reconstructed after the tide receded, much of the original architecture still stands, albeit polished up. And so it stands in contrast to the rest of the city architecturally as being much older in design, but resilient in its own right.
So much shit happened in this castle.
Right? And now more shit is happening in this castle.
Yeah, I mean, God, this was like our hub for the first arc. This was where we found Vanard. This is where the crystal exploded. This is where me and Mika had the
This
wedding.
is where we met Mika.
Yeah!
Alright, so
This damn castle.
damn castle. So, As you are sort of approaching the front gate, it looks like the castle is currently open for visitation. You would imagine due to like people wanting to like speak with the lord in the courts or whatever, court time session, whatever you want to call it, to hear petitioners. So there's no like immediate sort of halting as you're advancing, though Fluffy is made to stay outside as you're approaching.
Okay.
So long as there are no objections to that.
Rosa,
Objections to what?
as Fluffy's kind of been followed back, she kind of looks back at Fluffy, hesitates for a moment, and then kind of raises a hand, scratches her on the side of the head, pathetically. Continuing on. We'll be back soon, girl. Fluffy? I forgive you.
It gives you a little nuzzle. Alright. So heading into the castle, into the interior.
Takes.
Yes, Kayana?
No, I was talking to my sister, sorry.
That's okay. And so you pick your way through the castle for a little bit. Rosa, you kind of have an idea of where to go. You've been in here before. Before eventually you find yourself sort of coming out into essentially like a sort of publicly accessible archived library of sorts. As you imagine, that's probably where Tom would be. As you all sort of pile in and cast your eyes about, eventually you spot, sort of on an elevated, sort of second floor by a rail, sort of pondering over a tome, you spot this elderly Numo gentleman, certainly old even by Numo standards, dressed in the typical white robes with red accents and triangles depicted of a white mage, sort of reading over a tome. And he looks up towards you a second later. Ah, Rosa. Rosa? He quickly puts the book down and quickly makes his way for the stairs as he immediately notices something is wrong.
Master Aman.
Are you all right? What happened?
She is silent for a moment before she slowly raises her hand and kind of takes off the bandage.
One moment. And he holds the hand out, sort of places it like on your collarbone. There's this pulse of green. And he immediately casts a full power Kiraga on you, and what little remains of the cut in your throat immediately stitches closed. There's not even a scar.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you need to sit down? Are you all right?
Sitting would be nice. This is Cassandra. And my friends. Sorry.
He gives you a look. Cassandra gives a little nod. A pleasure. I'll address you in a minute. And he sort of puts a hand on your back, Rosa, and swiftly guides you over towards where there's like a little seating arrangement. A little spot for reading. Here you are. Just have a seat. Now, what happened? And who are the rest of your friends?
And I just had said Cassandra Shadowgrasp. That's Aeon, Kayana, Banara. They
Nothing, Blade.
This is Tamuman. He taught me of the cure spell. I know when Feast was around, and before my parents kind of burst up to that, and was the mentor for Mika, my grandmother.
You're the guy my grandpa saved during the flood, aren't you?
Yes, yes I am. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Cassandra Shadowgrasp. Your grandfather was a good man.
She just kind of looks. She just kind of looks the other aside for a second. Like, can I talk to you alone?
In a moment, in a moment. For now, I want to know what happened to Rosa.
There was a thief who stole something from a gentleman in the square. He was the one who let the lions out. The guy offered us a job to go and get his property back. Rosa led us outside the city. We camped for the night, and in the morning we found the guy in an abandoned village to the north of here. We confronted him. He didn't back down. We were fine up until he grabbed Rosa off Fluffy and held a knife to her throat.
Oh, no.
It's just by the skin of our teeth that Kunara was able to get the knife away. Plus a nice little stomp from Rosa.
It was. This music isn't appropriate.
It is not. I'm changing it.
Yeah, let's just stick to happy music. Yay!
Look, it's randomly shuffling, all right?
It was.
Yeah,
I-
that's not kind of appropriate.
We were just around him, and then, like, in a second, I stomped on him. He kind of faltered, but then he started. He slit into my throat. Kunara grabbed him before he hit anything big, but he slit my throat.
Tom
She got
briefly
grasped
look.
at her again.
Yep. Tom briefly looks up towards Kanara. You saved her?
Yes.
Then Kunara Fangblade, you have my deepest gratitude.
She was a bit lingering at that because she's not used to that, but then she basically bowed her head with respect.
It doesn't look like any permanent damage was done. No scar tissue. Physically, you should be fine.
I thought. I felt it go into my neck.
Tam kind of gets up from his seat, sits down next to you on yours. They're kind of wide seats, and just pulls you into a gentle side hug. It's all right.
I spent so long reading that stupid book. I never.
For the moment, Tam is just holding you. He's not saying anything.
He just lost in thought.
Just Tam. Just take care of her.
Of course. Now, if I may ask one question, who was it that hired you? I may have words for them for having Rosa go off on a trek like that.
No. If anyone's at fault, it's me. I should have known better than to bring her along. I should have known it was dangerous. If you want to hate somebody or put anybody at fault, it's just me.
Oh, please,
No.
I am far,
Nonsense.
I am far too old to be bothered with such emotions as hatred. Disappointment, however, I have that in droves.
And besides, the scattered brain expected a bit too much for what we had encountered. You were not prepared. Therefore, it is not your fault. And you shouldn't take all the blame.
But I was responsible.
Enough! I don't think it matters who was responsible at this point. To argue over the assignment of blame will solve nothing. Take it from an old man who knows. Now, he gives Rosa one more little squeeze before drawing back. You should probably be getting home. Your parents are going to be worried about you if you didn't go home last night. I'm surprised I haven't come by here looking for you, frankly.
They haven't.
Not yet.
Oh, they'll be somewhere then. Knowing them.
Almost certainly.
I can go back to them, not with that.
Maybe it's best if you take her home then, Tim.
No. Cassandra, now. You're coming to.
I already caused you enough trouble.
Shut up! Just stop with the blaming.
Rosa, take a breath.
That's... I wasn't ready for that. I don't... What was she like when she was your student?
Mika?
She nods.
She was in many ways like you. Curious, eager to learn. And during her first real fight, her first engagement, she didn't handle it well either, from what I was told.
The seat.
Even before then. I'm told that she froze up outside of the building where the seat was located when she saw the fighting take place. She'd seen horrible things at that point, tending to the sick and the wounded, but she hadn't seen violence unabashed like that yet. She didn't carry the burden alone, though.
Leaving, going on a... doing what they did. Reading in the books, I've always just thought, hey, fun and adventure and sights. I never really thought about it. I've never felt fear thinking of it before. That's why I need to go. Cassandra, I need to go with you.
Rosa.
I can't stay cooped up in this city, reading everything from a book. I never even thought about what it would like to be hurt like that. Because I've never left. All I know is the four walls of this city. And that fight, I was a burden, a liability. I can't. I need to know things, and I need to be better. I know I'm an idiot. I'm naive. I don't get it. But that's all the more reason. I need to know. I need to be out there. It can't be this. No.
Ultimately, that's not my call to make. But
What was that, Cassandra?
That,
Sorry. Cassandra said something.
No.
What? Me no.
I can't.
No. You don't get to do that. Just finally meet you. I get my throat slit. I asked to come with you. You say no.
She just turns to just look at you. Just, why me? You've known me for what, 2 days now? And I've already almost got you killed.
This is not a conversation to have right now. Emotions are running too high. Now, Rosa, and Tam sort of turns back to you. Well, what you do with your life is not my decision. As the court white mage, and with you having walked in here wounded, that does, at the moment, make you my patient. And so, doctor's orders. I want you to find somewhere quiet in here, sit down, breathe, and collect your thoughts. Center yourself. Remember the breathing exercises I taught you. Collect yourself. Collect your emotions. And once you have a hold of yourself, once everyone has a hold of themselves, then will be the time for a conversation like that. But you will get nowhere productive if you are snapping at one another, driven by uncontrolled emotions. Emotions are beautiful things, but not if you let them dictate you. So calm yourself, and you can have this chat when you are composed enough to do so. All right? And besides,
Fine.
that will give me time to talk with Cassandra regardless.
Fine. I'll go home then. I'll put them out of their misery and I know my way back.
You can
You
sit somewhere in my library to calm down. I want to keep an eye on you right now.
Fine. Fine. Just sits off of, finds a corner somewhere, sits down, just leans on the desk for a moment, just takes in several heavy breaths. Ford just resting her head on the table and burying her head in her arms.
Right, now, as for the rest of you, I would appreciate it, though I'm not ordering it, if you would remain in the library as well. You were with her, you saw what she went through. Occupy yourselves, but help me keep an eye on her. If she looks like she needs help, let me know. Alright?
I will be around here anyways. I could use a bit of a checkup myself. In private, if you don't mind.
One thing at a time. For now, find a place, get comfortable. And Cassandra, was it? You wished to speak with me.
Yeah.
Then come with me. And he sort of stands up and starts walking off towards another spot.
I shall wait till it's my turn.
Yes,
By
you
the
shall.
way, is it?
Tamuman, yes.
You're the wisest mage I've ever met.
I've had a long time to develop my wisdom. It comes with age.
And with that, I respect wisdom.
If only more did. Then he gestures and sort of guides you, Cassandra, a little ways off. Now, you wished to speak with me earlier, in private. What did you wish to say to me?
Rosa. She needs someone like you to look after her right now. Physically, she's alright now, but who knows what emotional scars we've made today.
I am reminded of when Marasu sunk. Her grandmother, Mika, did not take the event well. For want of a better term, she was comatose for days. In that respect, Rosa seems to be handling herself all right, considering what she went through. The response is to be expected. What she does need is comfort and support from people she cares about. That being said, I've known Rosa for a very long time. She is absolutely naive, yes, but she is also a very free spirit. In more than one way. Shut up, phone. And I am not certain that this is the right place for her right now. Her family loves her to a fault. I'm sure she's told you. Your shadow grasp, I doubt she would have shut up about it.
Yeah, she's told us of their opinions on the Warriors of Light.
I can't claim to know their reasons. It could simply be as simple as intense parental affection for the child they brought into their home, and it could be as simple as that.
Or maybe they've got a point.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. You haven't known Rosa as long as I have. Her parents mean well. But the moment something comes up, the moment they think she's in any kind of even remote danger, no matter how vague, They bear down on her extraordinarily hard, and that is not good for someone like her. And after what's happened here, if given the chance, I doubt they'll let her walk free again for a very long time. I wouldn't be surprised if they hired a bodyguard for no other reason than to make sure she doesn't go venturing off again. And you've seen how her heart yearns to get out there.
But why me?
Well, you know Rosa has a deeper fascination for the stories of the Warriors of Light.
Yes, I've heard it. My grandfather. I'm not him, alright?
I'm not saying you are. I don't think it's necessarily because of your abilities, however. Neothil and your grandfather were extraordinarily close. As close as two people could be, without crossing certain thresholds. They were dearest friends, to the point that it was Neothil's decision to name Thanatos the godfather of her children. That is no small thing. Your families are tied inextricably by that. However distant and intangible the connection, it's there, and Rosa will have latched onto it. Whether she's right to do so or not, that is a matter that could be debated for hours and no definitive answer could emerge. But after what you've seen of her, if you walk away and leave her here, do you think she'll sit still?
Can't. Can't. I can't let it happen again.
If I could invite Hades into the Hall of Whispers.
Oh fuck.
I
Well,
probably
I'm saying that a lot of the session, but
Doing it.
I should have done that sooner, frankly, but
Yeah, I was gonna wonder, is this a thing that should be in the Hall of Whispers or not?
Yeah, I was.
It
gonna
is
be
now.
vague about it.
it is
I was
now.
gonna be vague about it, but
damn
now I guess.
you! Oh, I was so
Alright.
full.
Shall we then?
Yes.
I mean, again, I was gonna try to be vague about it, but I guess this works too.
Yeah. So, after saying you can't let it happen again, Tam slowly nods his head. I heard about what happened in Garlat.
What?
It's
She
the
pales at this.
It's the sort of news that travels. Come now, you didn't think word of the descendant of one of the Warriors of Light being exiled from their home city wouldn't reach important ears?
She just looks away and just the tears just start forming.
I'm not
How
sure
much of
what...
it do you believe?
From what I've seen of you here today, and from what I knew of Thanatos, I believe you are innocent of the crimes they accused you of.
If you know why I can't let her be around me.
Is that so?
One of the first things she said to me when we met was like she thought she'd found some long lost family. I can't lose any more family.
That is a valid point, and not one I am inclined to try and dissuade you against. But if I may make an observation, you already travel with dear companions, do you not?
Aeon wouldn't stay home even if I tied him to a chair.
And so Aeon follows you.
I wanted him to.
You wanted him to stay, or you wanted him to come with you?
To come with me. Because if I just stayed by myself after all of that, I probably would have just killed myself.
Tam sort of reaches out and gently puts his hand on your shoulder. Well,
What if I can't protect her? What if I can't save her next time and I get her killed?
you can't hide from your life behind a wall of what-ifs. To bury yourself in hypotheticals is how you surround yourself in misery. It is important to acknowledge those questions, yes, but to let them rule you? No.
I tried so hard to be confident and cool like he was.
Your grandfather was many, many things. Graceful under certain forms of pressure was not one of them. His historical status has elevated him to a place of legend in many circles. The stories about him romanticized, even beyond the efforts of those who were there to see him trying to correct those exaggerations. But you've known your grandfather. And how much did he reflect the stories and the legends told about him?
All the time. He told me stories, meeting all the other warriors, meeting my grandmother. Just everything. What if I can't live up to what he was?
I feel the better question is, why do you feel the need to ask that question?
Just walking into the city, just the statue, seeing him young and so strong. The whole game you all created about him, the Chronicles. Even just Rosa hearing my last name, she looked like she saw like a goddess just standing before him. I haven't done anything to warrant that kind of admiration.
That does not mean you should feel obligated to try and meet it. Doubtless your family would have received much of the same over the generations leading to you.
Just... I see accomplishments everywhere. My mother was a renowned alchemist. Everybody loved her. My aunt's a teacher in a Nomo. The Academy City itself.
Well.
My dad was... He was the nicest guy ever. Even after all he gave up because of us.
Not because of you, for you. There's an important distinction. Now, as much as I would love to provide a very thorough and exacting explanation of how I feel you should proceed, ultimately, that is not my place to do so. And while I know things about you, Cassandra Shadowgrasp, I do not know you personally. Not well enough to do that in good faith. But I can give you advice. If it is your earnest, held desire to try and live up to the mantle your grandfather started, then by all means. But you should not do so because you feel obligated to, because of the expectations of those around you. Your life is yours. Live it as you see fit. If you want to do this because you want to, then do so. And by that same token, Rosa's life is hers to lead. But if her parents have their way, they'll practically lock her in here forever. And that won't make her happy. What she needs is a guide. She's a smart woman. She'll learn. All I want is to make sure that that doesn't happen with her on her own. Because mark my words, if her parents bear down on her too hard, especially after everything, Rosa will just leave on her own terms. And without a guide, who knows how lost she might become. She's not ready to be on her own just yet.
And you really think that I'm the right guide she needs?
That remains to be seen. But, if nothing else, I can already tell that you care about her, about making sure she's safe. The amount of blame you've placed at your own feet for what happened to her speaks volumes of that. protector is so much better at their job when they care. So long as they do not take it to the point of control and overprotection. So if she must be on her way, if she must separate herself from her family just to get her wings of freedom, then I would rather her guide be someone she trusts and someone who cares. And right now, that person is you.
I'll try.
I could ask for nothing more than that.
And I want to just say this. If she does come with me, I swear, I will bring her home again one day. Happy and alive. I swear, on my life, in my family name, Rosa will live as long as she's with me.
And in the face of such an earnest pledge, I can do naught else but believe you. Thank you. Now, I somehow get the impression that there was another matter you wanted to address with me? Perhaps I am mistaken, but the direction of the conversation shifted once you entered the room. Before I learned of what happened to Rosa, you wanted to speak to me about something, but then all the things with Rosa happened.
Honestly, I wanted her to just stay with you. She needed... I could tell she was nearly catatonic when it happened. I thought the best thing was for her to just stay with you. But after everything you've said...
I wouldn't be able to keep her here regardless. I may consider her my patient, but it is not in my power to force my patients to do anything. Even with orders. Were her parents asked to take her home, there is nothing I could do to stop them. A well-meaning request, but one I wouldn't have ever been able to honor.
I wouldn't ask it now. Because you're right. I noticed it the first time she told me about her parents. Kicking out her watcher teacher.
Yeah.
Basically just forbidding her for ever having any kind of contact with the warriors. Ironic considering living in a city that has them in a pig statue in the center.
Trust me, they hate it. I imagine they probably have considered moving on more than one occasion.
And knowing what I know now, you're right. Rosa can't be happy here. She's like a bird in a cage. And if I can set her free and give her wings to fly, show her the world, I guess that's a pretty good start to making things right.
Very well. With all of that said then, Shall we return?
Yeah.
All right. Ladies first.
What a gentleman.
I haven't lived this long just to ignore my manners. All right.
And
I think we can hop back to the others now.
before we just hop in, I did not expect it to get quite that emotional, but they.
Jesus
I didn't
Christ, we're 3 sessions in and everyone is fucking broken.
I know, like, I wasn't expecting him to know about Garlat.
I mean, he makes a valid point. How the fuck would he not know?
True.
Considering his connection to the Warriors of Light, yeah, news would have got to him about that. I mean, you can probably bet your ass that Nee would have been all over that story, and you can bet that Nee and Tam have at least some contact.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, let's link back up with the others, shall we?
Yep. We shall.
I guess it all panned out.
Hello
back.
again.
We're back.
That was a long discussion.
It was. It got in depth.
I look forward to
Yeah.
listening to it.
There were feels.
There were things, many
There's
things.
a lot of those. It's been a lot. This has been.
Anyway, so
Sandra will need lots of Koopa hugs.
yeah, so the rest of you have been waiting for the better part of I think like half an hour at this point.
Rose is just face down on desk. Yes.
Yeah, you've had all that whole time to just sort of your characters to let their emotions simmer and calm down a bit. And after a while, Tam and Cassandra return from their sort of departure. Looking a little like Cassandra looks a little shaken, but at the same time, like more resolved, I guess you could say, in her expression.
Mm-hmm. And she goes right up to Aeon and hugs him.
The Moogle is being hugged.
Honey.
You tired? You tired again?
She's very sleepy.
Right.
Did you fall asleep, Tree?
I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
We have been going for 3.5 hours. We're almost at stop time. I just figured we should probably wrap this particular scene up and then we'll call it.
Yeah, because my mother wants to sleep, and if she yells, that's not going to be good for the recording.
Yeah.
So
I think we should
let's square this scene up and then we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so Cassandra gives Aeon a hug. And then what?
And then. Oh, what was that?
Nothing. Sorry.
You're okay.
She accepts the hug.
All
Oh,
the
he
Koopa
accepts.
hugs.
All the hugs.
And now hugging Aeon and walking over to Rosa.
What?
I'm sorry.
She sits up and gives her a confused look. Huh?
I was being selfish.
Okay, I mean.
He just kind of sits down next to her. Tell me, now that we've calmed down, I guess, do you still want to go with me?
Yes. I meant what I said back there. I can't just sit here and
I'll let you know. But
How
before before you sorry, I just want to say this. But before you give your full answer, I just want to say this. You're gonna see a lot out there. It won't be safe, and it won't be calm. I'll tell you what it will be. She just kind of scratches Rose's on the head. Trip of a lifetime.
Her tail swishes at the scritch. Don't. Kind of brushes her hand off. Don't scratch my head. That's sensitive.
Oh, is it?
Oh no.
And just keep scratching it.
She kind of hisses her. Yeah.
Aw, who's a good kitty? Who's a good elf kitty?
It's kind of gets up and just tackles her. Stop it!
And you can hear Kayana just like, okay, kids, calm yourselves.
Fun tackles, Koopa.
Say, and I'm being attacked. I need assistance. I need backup, little brother.
The me, Koopa.
Yes, from #1 best brother.
Oh. Okay.
He just goes behind Rosa and just starts scratching her head too.
You pet the kitty.
I only half kitty.
Well, sorry to ruin this humble moment, but I have been thinking and have come to a conclusion.
Huh?
If you're planning to see what else lies beyond these walls, perhaps I could come along.
Really? You want to come
On
with
the
us?
condition, yes, but long as we have a few necessary agreements, one of which keep, well, contact between us to a minimum. I prefer my own space.
Well, I mean, you can say that about me, but again, Aeon's a hug magnet, so I don't know how well he can keep that promise.
You need to pass initiation.
I feel like we've started something terrible.
If you mean what you tried to do to me on the boat, I'm afraid it's still no.
One pet and you can join us, Koopa.
Oh my god.
It'll last less than 5 seconds, Koopa.
You are the strangest creature I ever met, but also one to never suggest such a thing, especially one of your status and size. But if it will be a necessary thing, you get 5 seconds.
Yee!
He just runs over and goes and just pets Kunara within the 5-second gap and then stops.
Sandra, Kuna's friend.
That she is.
Of a sort, I think, maybe.
Hey, she's coming along with us. She's friend.
And what about Kayana?
She was just like in her book, just right. Mostly just drawing in her book, and she wasn't paying attention for a second. Until she saw her name, until someone said her name. What?
Kai!
What?
So you gonna stay here in boring old Marasu, or are you gonna come join the new Warriors of Light?
If we're gonna make a name, that's not our name.
Why not?
We need something new, unique. Maybe it could reflect that. Something like Astral legacy?
What are we, a star alignment now?
Astral means light. Astral means light. Legacy, because Warriors of Light. It actually means with a legacy of light.
The Legacy of Light. I like that name. Aeon, what do you think?
It's interesting, Koopa.
Which one? Astral legacy or legacy of light? Sorry,
I kinda like the second one.
Out of the two, I like the second one.
I mean, just
Keep
the way it
him-
rolls off the tongue, I agree, but at the same time, it sounds really derivative.
It's a
Work
work in
in
progress.
progress.
Get out of my head.
Title!
So, Kai, we haven't heard an answer yet.
What were you guys talking about? I was paying attention.
Even Aeon is sighing in frustration.
We're planning on essentially eloping from the city and my parents and going on adventures as a group, a new team. You in?
I would appreciate it if you do join, because someone needs to babysit.
Weren't you calling her a kid earlier?
Well, the fact that she shows to be an adult, that has changed.
Kai is the mom of the family.
No, I have a mother. I love her, but she is overbearing. No much.
She's the mom of the group, Rosa.
Yeah, come on, Mom.
I am not calling her mum.
I'm literally crying. This is the best.
Mom, don't cry.
Cassandra is just holding her hand out. Come on, you know you want to.
Yeah, and you can just see her just like putting her head on her book, just like, fine, I'm going.
Fine, I'm going. Fine, you've won me over.
Does she walk over to the group?
She's just on a chair right now.
Cassandra.
Hold on, one before that. Cassandra just wishes to Aeon. Aeon.
Da.
Yes? Oh god.
Yeah, she's good. Go.
Aeon, bring her over for hugs.
Who am I bringing over? Kai?
Kai.
Hi.
E.
I just grabbed the book she's drawing in.
Say, come on, you gotta join the hugs, Koopa.
She's like, hey!
Get your head out of the books, Kai. Let's go.
And as soon as both of them are in arm's reach, wraps them both in a hug with Rosa.
Yeah, Kai's not hugging back. She's just like, bruh.
Lollipops for everyone.
I'm good.
No thanks.
So you
I
don't
got my
want
own
the
diet.
lollipop?
You don't want the lollipop.
Here we go again. Cassandra.
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I've had the men to go over that lollipop thing. Oh, history repeating itself. Love it. I need to get out there. Because, as much as I love my parents, not just Francis, but I know I have no idea what I'm going to get into, and that's half the point. I mean, how can I learn if no one's going to let me learn?
Cassandra pulls Rosa closer and, like, puts forehead against her. I know.
Just catch me when I next freeze up and have a meltdown, please.
Of course.
And just hugs Rosa.
long as you have us, Koopa, you'll be okay.
Good, because that was really scary.
I know.
You better be sure this is the right choice. You're gonna suffer more than a little neck wound, that's for sure.
Please don't try and talk me out of this now. We've done this whole hugging thing, and
Really?
I'm not.
Bedside manner, Kunara.
we're kind of. Yeah.
I promise, as long
Well-
as you're with me and Aeon and all of us, we won't let anything bad happen to you.
But
As
I
long
was
as you
gonna say-
promise not to blame yourself when something does. If something
Maybe.
does.
I'll try.
All right.
All I was gonna say was, well, I guess you need someone that's been round the world and back, at least from one continent to the next.
Well, I hope you're as hardened as you claim, Kunara, because the next thing we need to do is tell my parents. And to better that, the knife seems like a mercy.
I'll give them a lollipop. They'll be happy.
Oh my god.
Besides, you're gonna need someone to whip you into shape, young pup. Or kitten, should I say.
Oh my god.
All right.
So, no, let darkness finish. I want to hear what he was gonna say. Is it? Were you
After
gonna call her
young
kitten?
pup.
Were you gonna call her
Yeah.
kitten?
Or should I call you kitten, being part cat?
Okay, puppy. Let's hold off on that for a bit.
I am way older than you.
Yeah, and I just watched a Moogle give you scritches, so.
Say that to no one.
Remember that. Master Uman. Is he still there?
Yeah, he's been watching this whole time.
Is this... I know you never told me as much as I would have wanted, because interference and complaints, but... You taught me the cure, and... I just... Do you think this is the right move? Do I have your blessing for this, I guess?
Rosa, you don't need my blessing.
I'd like it anyway.
Then you have it.
Then, I guess... I'm really doing it. I promised to come back and tell you about it.
I look forward to it. And on that note, I think we'll go ahead and call it there for the day.
NC.
All right. And now, everyone is level 2.
Yes!
Yes!
Level 2. Level 2.
2.
Let's go fight a god!
No.
Little early for that, methinks.
Funny, you know what that means?
It means eject. You will be able to cast eject soon.
Yay.
Aeon gets to go eject me!
All right. But that can wait until next time. So, as it is, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning into this session of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. God, I hope my voice recorded this time.
That zigged where I thought it would zag.
Yeah, that went in a lot of directions, but I loved every bit of it. So, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Until then, keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Bye, you wonderful audience.
Alright.
Say bye, honey.
Bye-bye.
We are tired.
Mm-hmm.